mouth was full. Welcome, everyone, misfits and all, to tonight's Skeptic Bible Study. Holy War! Ha ha ha! That's right. Where tonight.
Holy War, holy shit.
Remember, James, it's one of the lovely things that comes with religion, killing everyone that's not in yours.
I mean, they might want to worship other gods, right? I mean, that would be bad.
Exactly. Once you start worshiping other gods, you just,
Come over here. Hey, you want to worship my god? My god.
But it's
His salon
okay.
is bigger than your god.
That's right. It's 15
My god doesn't
feet.
make you cut off part of yours.
But James, we're the chosen ones, so it's okay. Totally chosen.
General mutilation. It's cool.
But yes, Moses tonight instructs cities of refuge, avengers of blood, and landmarks. Boop. But still, we finish it off with a good old-fashioned holy war. So won't you join James W. and myself, Amy Newman, as we swing into the book of Deuteronomy, chapters 19 and 20. Oh my. Woo-hoo, that's right. I'd like to thank everyone out there on the intertubes. If you have recently been chipped by Soros, now is the time to activate your 5G. Boop, boop, boop. I love
Speaking of
vaccines.
that, I saw somebody online saying that 6G is going to be when they put the chips in you, and it'll be fully integrated into your body. I'm just thinking, we are honestly probably like 100 years away from like having stuff you can control with your mind. It's either wishful thinking or conspiracy gobbledygook.
I would say 7G will be controlled by your mind, but 8G will be controlled by your butt. So, we're evolving in the right direction. Sinister Porpoise says, my God's more polygamous than your God. Yeah, look, originally the Jewish God was partying it up with the other gods. He was a little bit jelly of them, but he acknowledged them, but slowly but surely got pruned. And now the Christians, they kind of have a 3-in-1 thing going on, and the Muslims and Mormons and all the others, and they're really close. They're so close. Well, they're one God away from being correct.
It's the Jewish God. He just couldn't compete with any of the other gods. So instead of trying to compete, he just said, well, they're all not even real anyway. So you guys are just stuck with me. I'm the only God.
Oh my, we were getting attacked. But yes, eventually we just got stuck with Yahweh. Yahweh or the highway. What is up, Randolph? What is up, everyone? Sinister and KCA Mannered. And look at the trees. Oh my. Look at these trees. It's such a powerful argument. Philosophers have been talking for thousands of years. And Uncle Back, just did a fantastic stream with Uncle Back and a fantastic LGBTQ plus panel that you should be checking out at Tangang, yo. Hashtag $2 super chat from Sinister Porpoise. Cybernetics to connect my coordination. Yes, please. I know. They always try to think that once we get, assimilated with technology, it would somehow, they just look at the negatives. Think about all the positives, ladies and gentlemen. So many positives. Like I said, I wish I was 5G connected. I wish that was how it
I
worked.
mean, then George Soros could just talk directly to you. He wouldn't have to call.
Well, the funny thing is Elon is sitting there night and day spending money, just like putting chips in himself, just trying to make the door go open. He's basically like, the door, open, off. And the conspiracy theorists are like, no, this is how they control you. This is how they get. It's like the same people that will say, oh, yeah, it was totally CGI in the 1950s. It's like, do you understand what render times are? No, you don't. That's okay. Anyway, sending love to everyone out there
George
on the
Soros gets you
interwebs.
tipped, he can just program you to worship Satan. You'll just automatically worship Satan. You won't
true.
even think
Though
about
I
it.
worship Saturn, who is 50% softer than Satan, but it's analogous. The Wish version. But that's right, everyone out there on the interwebs. We hope you are awesome tonight, and please don't forget to like, follow, or subscribe. Heyo, we just threw a 1,000 party the other night and threw channel membership on and a whole bunch of other fun things. We just want to thank you one more time, times I guess 1,000, maybe plus. Though if you say 6,000 to 10,000, the creationists will get a little too excited. So let's not get too excited. But maybe
much closer to 6 than 10. Yeah, much closer to 6. Yeah.
I still love that number because it's still pulled out of their butt. Bishop Usher, not the good Usher, who was a singer, but the other one who was just like, hey, maybe I could just be like hoopa 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 hoopa. Yeah, it was probably 6,000. Yeah, Moses was 600 or some bullshit. We'll just add that up and that up. No. Definitely.
He actually got it to the time of day in that creation was. It was exactly 9 o'clock in the morning. I think it was either 9 or 10.
Also, it's funny, 8 a.m. is exactly when God made time, I think. Why 8 a.m.? I don't know, because time wasn't invented, and that doesn't make sense. But don't ask logistics questions. Also, sending love, April Cox. Saw you on EF Dawa a few days ago. Really enjoyed you when you go on there. Thank you so very much. I love going on the Apologist and Dawa channels, and I actually think this Tuesday I am going to be uploading the recent conversation I had on there. I am excited. It's like, I assume this is going to be about Bush invading Iraq. Well, we do have our little excursions for oil, but I wish people would actually help others for the right reasons. Wouldn't that be nice if it wasn't for oil and we just decided to help people because we wanted to actually have people not be controlled by religious theocracies?
Well, we do need the oil, though.
Well, it's funny, and that is why people do. It's why we're friends with Saudi Arabia. And it's like this bittersweet relationship because in this weird way, Saudi Arabia is secularizing. I think in the long run, they are making a deal with the devil. They think, oh, we're going with the West. Yes, keep on trading. Because that's really all the West is just trading and secularizing. Except for America is the weird outlier. But we're working on that with that non-religion.
They actually took flogging out of their penal code last year, which is a major step for Saudi Arabia because they were doing that all the time.
And women can finally drive, making the last outlier. I do believe every country now,
but surely becoming less crazy. Still a long way to go, but slowly working their way there.
But you can't fight against it. Has anyone seen my stapler? I suspect an atheist took it. What is up, Kill Doggy? What is up, all the Twitch stream? And sending so much love. Randolph, I was listening to the fantastic stream he was having today, along with T-Jump and others. What is up, James Wolfe? Going mountain hiking. Sounds fantastic. I love camping. Looking forward to viewing later. Love you both. Love this community. Woo-hoo. I will say, there is no better community that I have experienced. Maybe the geek community. But besides that,
What about the furry community?
well, just the okay, you know what? I'll make it a trifecta. The geek community, I'm just gonna label it the kink community because I'm not gonna kink shame whatever. And then the skeptic community, which tends to be the atheist agnostic, but we have pagans and heathens and all sorts of deists and stuff. But we don't have what the title is, ladies and gentlemen. This is the name of the game. Is okay. We do not have atheist versus atheist takedown videos. We don't have holy wars. We don't kill each other. Oh my goddess, for not even being the same religion, but a little bit different, a different denomination. Or even maybe there's the First Baptist versus the Second Baptist. Jesus.
Of denominations of atheism.
That's true. And there is the Pope of atheism out there. But sending love to take care.
Thank you, Dave.
So many fantastic people out there. We are having a Skeptic Bible Study. In fact, with that, we are going to hand it over to Gilbert. He signed a billion-year contract with us, and so he's right on time. Gilbert, what are we about to read?
Thanks, George.
Some of you may be new to this abomination of a study. These schmucks begin by reading each episode's chapters along with the annotations on the side for funsies. The hosts are a tiny bit special, so don't mind if they butcher or replace everybody's name with something completely horrible or stupid. However, the gibberish that spews forth from their face holes will still be an attempt at reading this book from cover to cover, which I'm sure has tons of wisdom or an insight on whether we can or cannot put things up our butt. If you have time to waste screaming internet memes at random strangers, then join the Discord. Or scream at them personally at your YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch streams. Finally, don't forget to support these idiots doing more lame shenanigans at Amy Newman's Patreon page. All right, schmucks, back to you.
Woohoo! Thank you so very much, Gilbert. It's great to have you contractually obligated for the next billion years. And speaking of which, you can find our Patreon page at patreon.com/Amy Newman, which helps us make even more fun content, including awesome Patreons like us from the Atheist Roundtable, the Atheist Network Group. In fact, #Tangang, yo. Because, you know, it's funny, it's almost like skeptics do it better. Because once again, James, what's the title of tonight?
Holy shit. Holy war.
Yeah, it turns out that we don't holy war.
I mean, if you really want to.
Exactly. Only if you're into that. But sending love to Oz, sending love to Tangang, and you, can get tickets to Better on sale now. Woohoo! And at YouTube, also youtube.com/The Atheist Network Group. Plus, sending love. Oh, and you should also check out the fantastic stream that we just did. I saw back in chat. You should check out the fantastic LGBTQ plus stream that we just had, plus secular allies, because we love all of you out there. In fact, the question of the night really, and we get it often, is what can we do to be an ally? And it's actually simple, and you think it would have to be here, but metaphorically, just do the right thing. In events happening, and that's really, if you're LGBTQ+, if you see an atheist, agnostic, anyone, just do the right thing. You're already being an ally. Morality is not that hard, actually. It's the theists that tend to complicate things. Because altruism actually feels good. Exactly. But also sending love to Ian Davenport. Because, well, our organs look like they just came about by, sponsored by, I normally would say sugar water because electrolytes are what plants crave. But
Starbucks today?
Also bean water and cats who want to be let go. All right. There you go. But also Ian Davenport sending so much love. Cats, Ian Davenport, everybody sending so much love. And when we hear these creationist arguments, it makes a grumpy old cuss go bleep, bleep, bleep. I would love to see a model. Just like a flurf. Just show me a model. Don't say God did it. Don't say you need to know how. You don't need to know how God did it, because science is actually all about knowing. So if you want your views taught in class, it needs to be science. Funny how that works. Also,
funny, huh? TP4,
except when they try and get it. They lose every court battle, but still, it's dangerous every time they try. And sending love to Pat Lowinger. I saw him out there sending so much love, because we've had many Talk Skeptic to Me episodes that you should talk out, like Talk Sacred to Me. Basically, how did sacredness come to be? And that tends to be often bath fitter, which is the new religion kicks out or assimilates the old religion, or they died, one way or the other. And funny enough, you can just put, boop, your church right where that pagan temple was. And then you can put that mosque, boop, right where that church was. And you know what's funny? You can put a museum, boop, right where that mosque was. It's a great evolution, folks. Put a gay bar. Oh, now you're talking to me.
Yeah.
But also sending love to Pat Lowinger.
Just imagine, Amy, in your lifetime, the Kaaba and Mecca will be a gay bar.
And once again, if they feel that's blasphemous, they supposedly, and they double down in the Quran, that Sodom and Gomorrah, the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah, was for homosexuality. So I'm perfectly fine with the Kaaba being a gay bar. And let me even say,
double down,
we'll invite everyone. That's the difference. We will accept everyone, no matter who you are, no matter what your religious views. But I really do love everybody. But blasphemy pisses me off. It's one of those few things because it's just an excuse. I've had personal conversations with Muslims who've gone very mad at me, who have especially on on the Dawa channels, and yet it's funny through argumentation. I've had 2 apologies. I've had 2 Muslim gentlemen, because I was laser focused. They tried really, really hard to attack my gender, and I just kept on going after views, not attacking them, but really sticking to theism, deism. And I would almost feel bad showing their emails, but I have at least one saying, because he came on to speak to me on one of them backstage, or to be on, and when he actually got on there, he was very quiet. And yet I told him, I think behind stage, the same thing I tell everybody, every theist, which is, I love you. I love you. It does, like, there's only, let me get a little Jon Snow on you. There's only the living and the dead. Really, really, really. You could say, you could transpire the dead to the non-living, because there's actually a difference between dead and a rock. But it's only us. And even more specifically, it's only the people that can really talk to each other. So look to the left, look to the right. That's all we got. Nobody else to save us. Sending love to Pat. Sending love to Dale Pastel. Do 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 do. I think I'm trying. I was on EF Dawa the other night. It might have been Hazma's Den when it happened. They all bleed over a little bit, but they're all fun. I want to go on more apologetics as well. Whoa. Sending love to... Did I say I miss Diana Smith? Diana Smith, the fantastic, the lovely Diana Smith, sending love and reminding us that, the Bible doesn't always have a great track record with treating 51% of the other gender out there as humans. The liberal versions of their theology do, but they do that mostly by ignoring their theology. But sending love, Diana Smith, sending love, Dale Pastel, reminding us that we're just really looking.
Creative.
That's right, they are. The mental gymnastics. But sending love, Dale Pastel, reminding us that we're really just looking for empirical evidence. Funny how the one thing that seems to be off limits to us. But James, did you know you could actually have access to older methodologies that haven't offered us anything in hundreds of years?
But you can't prove them wrong.
Can I? And I'm also realizing not only is philosophy, there's 2 good reasons I'm learning to philosophy. One, it is, like I will continue to say, the first of, I would say, maybe 3 to maybe 5 steps traditionally of the scientific method, the process of hypothesizing, going out and testing your results, recording the what you find, submitting that for peer review, and then having others peer review it, test it with your methodology. But there is another. There's a second, and I realized. And just a shout out to J. Mike, Danny, trying to think of some others. It's good for counter apologetics. T-Jump. it's good for
Its own sake.
Tom Rabbit. It's good for dismantling the nonsense that comes out of a lot of young Earth creationists' worldview.
Thought about thought.
Philosopher 21st century sage. Ooh, excuse me. Bean water. But it's so good somehow. It has chocolate. But also sending love to Dave Garr. We were tucking him into bed. Sending love to him as he reminds us that the world is kind of thick. Isn't that right? Wait. Yeah, George says to remind everyone. The world is round. And I don't get why I don't, when I debate flirfs, there are people I could do some decent lay physics. I want to understand it from a completely different angle. Like, there's just no motivation. There is nothing that a government gets from saying that the world is round.
Yeah, because then you won't know that there's a God. You'll think we're just one planet out of countless trillions of planets in a never-ending universe.
And then you'll stop believing in God, I guess.
You won't think we're just sitting on a snow globe on top of God's desk where he
You know
come in and
what's
shake
funny
us up.
is that there's numerous just scientific facts that seem to be in competition with God. And most atheists will actually admit that they don't disprove a God. But it's just funny how awkward they get. Oh, we can't have a round earth. Oh, we can't have a billion-year-old earth. Oh, the world can't be getting warmer.
From gravity.
Yeah, gravity. It's a hoax. Sending love, Dave Garr.
Global warming's not going to destroy the Earth because the Bible says God's going to come and destroy it. So
Well, exactly.
How can global warming destroy it, Amy, if God's going to come destroy it?
Well, if Jesus takes the wheel, then we should be fine.
Jesus is a little tipsy tonight.
Well, and that is one of the big problems. I mean, we see it in the Muslim community, but we see it in the Christian and other communities, is once you remove the fear of death, bad things happen. Like, I get on a personal squishy level to a lot of people, it's like, oh, I get over, I don't know, one of the harder aspects of being an adult, though that is being an adult, is accepting
pretending
death.
It's not true.
Yeah. But bad things come from it. Just how people tie bombs to themselves and end up in places.
To get a reward, or
no fear. Why do you have fear? You're going somewhere, quote unquote, better. Sending love, Dave Garr. Sending love to Scott Duke, who was on with us last night. Sending so much love. Sending love to the lead hyena of the pack. Sending love also to youtube.com/answers of atheism. Sending love to Speed. Sending love to all of our atheist brothers and sisters out there, and reminding you that animals were not poofed into existence. And no, I'm not trying to make a PETA analogy here. I mean, like, if you think that this was poofed out of nothing, which I'm realizing it's all projection now, random, chance, nothing. Like, it is the poof model. They think animals. It goes God, poof, animal. That is the model.
That's all there is to it.
It's
not complicated.
It's not complicated.
Well,
exactly.
that's like Otangelo's teaching biology classes. You can get a master's degree in biology only one class, only takes 5 minutes or less. God did it. If you want to need to know anything else, you can go to hell. The end. That's it. God did it. That's all you need to know. You have any further questions, you can go to hell.
Exactly. They're not great on logistics. Let's just say that's not his. And when I love Atangelo just because his website is always just like www.thisisdefinitelyscientific.com, which is his own
It's all
website.
science. It's all science. The
Complete
Noah's
science.
flood. Yes, you just get one big boat. You just load it down with all the animals. Don't worry, everything will be fine. All the people gonna drown, but the animals will be happy. The end.
And see, life has become all the more cheap in these days, sadly. I think life has become pretty awesome. We used to live till like 35, which is how I am. We used to live to me right now, this age. I'd be almost
You'd be considered elderly.
yeah. Which is so funny. But the funniest thing to me is that in the Jewish religion, they consider girls and guys adults
12 and 13,
at 12 and 13. Oh, yeah, really? They were like, Mazel Tov, and then here's your Pokemon cards. Yeah, no, really, adulthood.
Well, when you're only living to your 30s, I mean, that's basically.
Oh, exactly. They also hate on us when we call it the Goat Herder's Guide. But we have talked ridiculous amount of rules
About
for
goats.
giving people goats. More so than I feel like an average book. More so than I feel like Harry Potter. But who knows?
Since you mentioned that, don't forget, next Saturday, I have a debate on Standing for Truth.
Oh, my.
Versus Nephilim Free. That's right. The 18th on dinosaur-human coexistence. And it's going to be fun.
I need to get a dinosaur stuffy. And how ridiculous is it that there are Christians that defend this?
Well,
Dinosaurs
I'll give you a preview of my argument. And you remember that old saying that when you start telling lies, what tends to happen? You have to tell more lies. And what tends to happen to those lies? Those lies tend to get bigger and more ridiculous. And until you follow this chain of lies, and the first lie was that the authors of this book had any clue as to the origin of life or origin of the universe. They didn't have a damn clue, but they said they did. That was a lie. And here we go. You follow that down to these people who didn't even know about dinosaurs. We have to say they lived with dinosaurs.
Porpoise is the average of 40, a statistical average, and strangely goes way up in current amount. At the same time, vaccines are invented, and when we discover we can place thyroid hormones. Yeah, I would say the past 200 years, basically the age of enlightenment, we've been kicking ass and taking names. It's almost like
don't tell that to Alex Jones.
At one point, we were religious, and now we have
They used to tell that to Alex Jones. People would call his show and be like, Alex, if all the food is poison and all the vaccines are killing people, why are we living so much longer? We're not living any longer. It's just the fact that people don't die so much as babies. You go back in the cemetery 150 years ago, half the gravestones were babies. Now nobody dies as babies. They're all living to be at least in their 20s or 30s. So that skews the numbers up. But no, people are not living longer. Yeah, that's his excuse.
And that is not true. That is factually not true.
Not at all. Demonstrably so. But imagine you have a narrative where you have to say that the modern foods are killing people, that it's toxic, and that vaccines are killing people. And basically the entire medical field is out there killing people when, how were we doing before these modern advents? We were doing much worse. So While they
And
do have costs, while they're not perfect, we are still a hell of a lot better off than we were before.
they basically take a vaccine, much like hand sanitizer, that says 99.9. So it kills the vast majority. But still, the world is big. The country's big. So you only need, I don't know, a dozen people per million. And you just interview those 12 people, even though you just saved 1 million lives. And so vaccines cause adults. Also, sending love to regions. Reminding you, we are Skeptic Bible Studying. In fact, we are talking about holy wars tonight.
Amy would hate for her bungholio to get polio.
Oh my. Well, I know just the amount of diseases that we have eradicated since the invention of
Smallpox.
vaccines in general.
You know how many people used to die of smallpox? All like hay fever, scarlet fever, these things that used to kill lots of people all the time. That now kill hardly anybody because
And was it thoughts and prayers? Was that what changed? Is that how they
no.
healed?
Both. It was both, right? It was they always had the prayers, and then one day science came along, and then of course we give the prayers most of the gratitude, right? Because hey, if God didn't want them to come up with a medicine for it, would they be able to come up with it? No. If
We're
God
not
didn't want the
God.
medicine to work, would it work? No. So we're the only God, right?
Exactly. That's just God working in mysterious ways. So
Rejoice,
sending
yeah.
love, Rejoice.
Rejoice.
And sending love to Rachel Holland, the
Rachel.
lovely, the fabulous, and amazing. Reminding us that the Bible would never consent to taking slaves of the nations around you, would they?
I mean,
little bit, baby.
that maybe depends on the circumstances.
Exactly. Oh, the Bible. But sending love, Rachel Holland, and sending love to Senator Cato, reminding us the Bible, the Quran, the Torah, doesn't matter what holy book is yours. When it comes to religion, you should probably have a secular government so you can practice and read whatever version you like. Boom, 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 boom. So thank you so much, Senator Cato, and sending love. And sending
I think
love.
Aaron Ra is going over the Blasphemers Bible. And he's also starting a Book of Mormon study. I saw that. I think they have the first episode today. Yeah. Aaron Ra going through the Book of Mormon.
I'm pretty sure we're 20 years off from that, so
we'll get there eventually. Yeah.
we are gonna eventually do. The plan is the Desert Trilogy and then all the DLCs. So we're gonna go through the Torah, go through the Old Testament, go through the Quran, go through the Book of Mormon. But I think we'll send love to R and Ron, send them over there for now while we do our Skeptic Bible Study, because we're just endued autonomy. But sending love to Senator Cato and sending love. I saw her out there. She is working round the clock helping other atheists, other agnostics and non-believers. We're sending love to the queen of production, Jenna.
Jenna, she's out there, Jenna.
Woo-hoo. And like I said, she was with us making that LGBTQ plus Pride Edition over at Tangang, which you should all check out at youtube.com/The
Check it out.
Atheist Network. And one more time, tickets on sale for Better. It's this month. Get your butt to the interwebs and get some tickets.
JesusIsAMyth.com. Oz actually bought that website.
Oh, that is hilarious.
JesusIsAMyth.com.
I forgot.
Yeah.
And can I also, I can't get this out of my head, is that it says, hold on, just keep on talking for a second.
Yeah. Actually, I think, who's that out there? Tubi and I think Aaron Rod did finish with the Quran. I think they are done with that finally after like 2 years.
So I just couldn't unsee it. It's really kind of silly, actually. But I'm doing it anyway. Do. And we'll just say, but it says Jesus is Amy. I just couldn't get that out of my head. Hey, Jesus is Amy TH. But go to JesusIsAMyth.com. Go support Jenna, Oz, Shane, Biddy, Uncle Beck, student Dr. Ben, all of the lovely people over there at the Atheist Roundtable. It really is the theme of this stream that religion has holy wars, religion has schisms, and atheists don't. There is actually, for all of their like purity tests and all of this, there's actually something clean to the agnostic and atheist position. Kind of funny, because you could be right and all of them be wrong, or it could be more likely that they're all wrong.
That sounds
Just
more
how that
reasonable, doesn't it?
works. Can you give me a bigger winky? I'm gonna assume that's as big as a wink as I can give. And if you meant something, 0.02 Mexican pesos if you tell me if that's true or false. I'm going with true. I don't actually know, but I'm putting it down there because I want that 0.2 Mexico pesos. But sending love to Jenna, the queen of production, and sending love to James Wolfe. We saw him out there, reminding you that we kind of have late night streams. We kind of look up at the moon more often than not. So sending love to James Wolfe, sending love to everyone out there on the interwebs for our open mics. I meant because you're Jesus. Joking. Gotcha. Sending love. But also sending love to last but not least, a special, big, fantastic thank you to the galaxy in your hand, to Matt Dig, because it's my pet peeve. Creationists don't know how to create a galaxy. They can't create planets. They can't create a solar system. And they can't create a galaxy. Funny enough, science, not even atheist science. There's no such thing as atheist science. They like to say that sometimes. It's just science, and most atheists tend to agree with mainstream science because that's the experts who get paid paid and trained in their field. No, they can't. That's all we're asking for. A little bit of a model. Yeah, that's probably a little bit. You would think if they were doing that, though, they'd create a model. Even if they're just not doing anything at all. However, during our skeptic, first of all, thank you, all of our Patreons. You are who will make this channel possible, along with all of our channel members listed in the description below. Thank you so very much for your support. You guys are what make this channel possible, along with our subscribers, the people in chat, our mods, and of course, viewers like you. During our Skeptic Bible Study, we try to greet everyone on screen. So if you've been wondering, like, who the hell are they just screaming out random names for? We are saying hello to our chatosphere, the skeptic and ranting community. However, if you want your specific thoughts, questions, or one-liners read out loud, help us find your comment by tagging James W. or myself in chat at Amy Newman. After the chapters are done, we will be switching into the open mic so you can tell us face-to-face the wisdom we just experienced. And hey, if this is your first time to the series, you may be asking, what version of the Bible are we about to read? Why, what a fantastic question, which brings us to our categories. They're breaking in. Oh my God, Yahweh, the Israelites. We must defend ourselves. Donde
está George Soros?
Oh, Soros, save me.
Before we begin, I'm going to start by going over the specific Bible we'll be reading, along with some helpful category marks. Categories, you say? Why, yes I do. You see, we're going to be reading from the Skeptic's Annotated Bible, an entire King James Bible lovingly fawned over by a skeptic who decided he would add his own notations. These are little flagpoles of sanity put in use to remind us that, hey, maybe slavery is evil, including categories like absurdity, injustice, and cruelty, but also a good amount of intolerance, contradictions, and conflicts with science or history. That doesn't mean it's not packed full of misogyny, false prophecy, and some questionable biblical family values. Now, we won't skip the good parts that the Bible has, only that these passages seem far fewer in number than any priest or pastor seems to suggest. So without further ado, won't you come join the Skeptic crew?
Woohoo!
Woohoo!
That's right. Dum, 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 dum. Also jazz hands and the cat wants in as well. They want in, they want out. They are fur babies. We have one. Oh, okay. Hello, my baby girl. Oh, we have a Penelope. She'd like to say hi. Oh, hello, baby girl. Okay, I'm gonna put you up here. And we're gonna do a Bible study.
That's right, kids. It's time for the Bible.
That's right. The good old Bible. And all right.
Questionable family value.
Yeah, I always think it's funny they try to preach biblical morality and family values when they end up killing half the, sometimes almost all, the families.
They've got it coming.
Picky. They have it coming. They had it coming. They only had Yahweh to blame. Anyway, with that, welcome everyone to our Skeptic Bible Study. On the previous episodes, the people will
Magic,
stone.
you know.
Kind of like magic. Moses continued his instructions to the Israelites, commanding them to stone to death anyone who worships another god or anyone who will not listen to a priest or judge. Yes, it's very holy. Kill everyone who has a different god. No. Oh, yeah, no, it's objectively good. Do it. They had it coming.
Or else.
It was listed in that 10 suggestions that I had behind me before you did that whole calf thing. But yes, commanded them to stone to death basically everybody. However, he also called wizards, witches, you're a wizard, Harry, and astrologers abominations to God.
Let me guess.
Spooky.
Throw cotton balls at them or crumpled up pieces of paper.
Yeah, you basically tackle them with hugs. You
Send
hug them so much they can no longer breathe.
Oh, I see.
In this episode, Holy War, Moses instructs the Israelites on cities of refuge, avengers of blood, and landmarks. Ooh, I want to go there. Then we finish it off with a good old-fashioned Holy War.
Oh, it's been so long since we had a holy war.
I know. Sometimes you gotta break out a holy war. You know what I mean?
Because there's other people out there, and they're not us, are they?
No, they have a completely
Not
different
us.
religion.
Ooh. That sucks to be them, doesn't it?
Exactly. Oh, it sucks a lot.
It is good to be the chosen people. I mean, am I right? It is good to be us, right?
It is. Sometimes. Funny enough, every once in a while, he also turns on them too. Anyway, won't you join us as we jump into the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 19? And we have just a little bit of appetizers, just a small category.
A nice warm-up.
It's just humor, because that's what you think about the Bible is humor.
The joke book. It's the joke book.
Also sending link out up into the Twitchosphere. But also, we are starting off Cities of Refuge, the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 19. You gotta laugh, ladies and gentlemen. If not, you cry. Anyway, when the Lord Bob out, here she is. She's beautiful. When the Lord Bob with her noodly appendage, thy goddess, have cut off the nations. Remember, we kind of cut off their nations by killing them. Whose land the Lord thy goddess, this chica, give thee, and thou succeedeth them, and dwellest in their cities. We kind of got their shit now.
Well, they're not. They don't need their cities anymore because they're not alive.
James, the great thing about, I guess, killing people with a different religious belief than you is you get to live in their homes.
Yeah.
You get their shit. Thou shalt separate 3 cities, not 2, not 4. Gotta do rule of 3 for thee in the midst of thy land, and even in your hand, which the Lord Bob, thy goddess,
With a
give
box.
thee to possess it. In a box with a fox, thou shalt prepare thee away, away, and divide the coast of the land until the sides are crispy, which the Lord Bob thy goddess, with her noodly appendages, give thee to inherit into 3 parts, and every dragon slayer may flee thither. I'm sorry, what? Moses continues his instructions to the Israelites, saying, after God has destroyed the occupants of the land, he has given you established 3 cities. I like this. Like, they're not even trying to hide it. They're just like, kill them, take their shit, go live there.
You have to figure, I mean, this is God, right? So why does he have to take land for his people that is occupied? Couldn't he just poof new land out of anywhere and say, he could do that, but then he wouldn't be able to kill anybody. Where would the fun be?
Exactly. Where would the adventure be?
He's got to find a land where he's already let people move in, but they already live there. But I want my people to live there. So what am I going to do? I could move them. I could tell them to leave. Kill them.
Also,
Objectively moral.
You're gonna hear this a lot this episode, but hashtag loving God basically all over the place. So yeah, we're
God is love. Like
exactly the God of love.
God is love. Venus Mars.
And this is the case. Objection of the Dragon Slayer, which shall flee thither, that she may live. Who shall kill her neighbor ignorantly, whom she hated not in time past. These cities will be safe places for ignorant killers who didn't hate their victims. I'm sorry, what?
It's for people who commit like manslaughter, who kill people by accident.
Okay. I'm just trying to. And when a man goeth into the wood with his neighbor, to who, oh my, he gets a really big wood, and with his hand, that makes sense. And he fetcheth a stroke. I've seen this one with.
Here we go. Like the Bible, they're always making rules for like these ridiculous scenarios that would be like things that would happen like once every 100 years, but they're making a special rule for it.
Well, the Bible likes to make very random rules
like
that actually aren't really, that no one uses today. Even the 10 Commandments, there's like 2 that we use in law.
No one would have ever used them back then, because this shit is like, how often would this shit happen in this verse? Read this verse.
And the head slippeth. Oh my. So I just want to point out that we got wood, we're stroking, and the head slippeth. And
the stop it with your axe, and the head goes flying off.
Whew. Lighten up upon his neighbor that he die. That escalated quickly. He shall flee unto these cities and live like a wood chopper who had head of his axe fly off and kill someone. Maybe this will make more context if we read this in 3s. Lest the avenger of the... I thought that said lest the avenger of the blood pressure. That'd be such a lame superhero. I am blood pressure.
I mean, what's he gonna make a rule for next? If you are standing by the campfire and you fart and it roasts somebody and kills them, then you can move to these cities also, because you didn't mean to incinerate them with your ass. It was an accident.
I just want to know how many rules we're going to need for goats. We got less the... Also, for whatever my brain just goes to Marvel, but I don't think it's going to be as cool. Lest the Avengers of blood pressure, the Slayer, his powers, the ability to. You're 60 over 130. While the heart is hot, and overtake him, Kinky not Yahweh with Yahweh, because the way is long, and slay him, whereas he was not worthy of death, insomuch as he hated him not in time past. I hated you in time past. Where I command thee, saying, diddy diddy dum diddy do, thou shalt separate 3 cities of thee. And the Lord of God enlarge the coast, as he hath sworn unto thee fathers, and give thee all the land which he promised unto thy fathers. Oh my, we're promising, Father. You know, it's funny, they ask, where do you go when you die in the Torah? And you go with your fathers, which not very explicit. Oh boy. If thou shalt keep all these commandments to them, which I command thee these days, to love thy Lord, Bob.
Oh, don't forget that one. Can't forget about that one. You must
You
love
need to keep
me.
your commandments.
You must
Yes.
keep loving me. Keep praising me and worshiping me. 1, 2, buckle your shoe.
You need to get on your knees. Which I command this today, to love, because this is the God of love. Hashtag, thy Lord, thy goddess, and walk ever in her ways. Then thou shalt add 3 cities more for 3, besides these 3. Are we multiplying? That innocent blood be not shed in thy land. Just spread it all over. Which
Not
thy
the blood of the
Lord.
house of God.
Oh, we're gonna win. Where I see a lovely theist in chat. We're gonna.
Oh
It's
boy.
so funny. I see. I can't tell. I guess it is kind of arrogant when you see like it's like atheist helpline, but I just can't help it. It's religion, because it is a superstition. It makes people just say the darndest things. It really does.
Theists say
And
the darkest thing, don't they?
that's all I'm going to say, because if they would drop their religious beliefs, I really do. I really believe that, like, almost all the social baggage that they comes with, they would just drop. The most conservative that they generally get as an atheist is generally a libertarian type of, like, a do whatever you want, smoke pot and hookers, just don't mess with my money. But you rarely get the I hate gays, I hate trans. Like, once you drop religion,
There's certain things.
all of that. Yeah, and that's not, there's no absolutes. Just because,
Oh, there are.
but I'm just saying, when you drop religion, it's amazing how much of that baggage.
Have you're like, oh, I accept science, so therefore there are only 2 genders. Then, yeah.
Which is so funny, because when you point out that the scientists generally agree with, there being sex, gender, that sex is real. That's a politically correct talking point that they use, because I don't know anyone who says, I'm sure, once again, going to absolutes, I'm sure there's someone who says sex isn't real.
Maybe.
Sex is real. It exists in plants. Look at the trees, ladies and gentlemen. Why can't you just look at the trees? It's such a wonderful philosophical argument. It comes from Aquinas.
Get the tree. Yeah. Cutting edge.
Cutting edge. We were avenging, leaking blood. We had 3 cities. No, we got to the end of this. All right. Let's see if it makes any sense if we just read quickly the annotations. Moses continues his instructions to the Israelites, saying, after God has destroyed the occupants of the land, he has given you established 3 cities. These cities will be safe places for ignorant killers who didn't hate their victims, like a wood chopper who had the head of his axe fly off and kill someone. Such a person could flee to one of these cities and be safe if he manages to get there before the avengers of blood finds him. Cool.
Otherwise, they could kill him.
Well, speaking of the avengers of blood, it leads right into it. The avengers of blood. It leads us to our next, and I'm pretty sure there are 3 chapters on this, or 3 sections on this chapter.
And that head of your axe goes flying and accidentally kills somebody, but the Avengers of Blood get there before you can hide in one of these cities. Then they get to kill you.
Avengers of Blood. Yes.
Like, oops, you didn't make it you didn't get back to base in time. Now you're gonna die.
Now you're going to fry. Also, welcome to our 2 categories. We have violence. Who doesn't love a little bit of violence? I mean, if you're not going to have sex, you got to have violence. So, and I just want to send in. I'm going to pin. Also, if anyone would like to become a active chatter and thus a mod in Twitch, all you need to do is ask. As always, you are subject to admins, people like Tighten Your Anus. Like, I don't know how to say this, but like, you're Abrahamic. Like, you could talk shit about, like, my parents are both, I am an Ashkenazi atheist. And so, I got it from both sides, my mom and my dad, and their moms and their dad on both sides, all Ashkenazi. And yet, I'm not a Jew. And if you're a Christian, you believe in some form of the Jewish God, because we're fighting the Abrahamic God. Like, I that's why we're doing this. I would like this to be an easy, accessible guide. One day, that for an atheist, agnostic, a pagan, whoever who is not in the Abrahamic faith, and it's as dry as Ben Shapiro's wife, I would like to, I'd like to actually have some flavor for someone trying to go through that chapter. If maybe a Christian, a Jew, a Muslim decides to bring it up in a debate or a conversation. This is why we do this. It's a resource. And it's enjoyable to us because we learn so much just going through it in order, word for word, mostly, because we may add our own words in between. But I don't know. It's just interesting lines because if you think that Moses, Adam and Eve, and Noah were real people, then you are on one side. And everyone else, even and my lordy, because I'm definitely on the pro Soros side when it comes to everything else. Because I also dislike the people who dislike Jews. Like, I have to walk a very tight rope. Like, I love my parents; they are the best human beings on the planet. You're gonna see it here. Like, if I end up being as half as good as my parents, who are Jews, who eat bacon, Go figure that one out. And I listened to my mom, and she's like, who knows if heaven exists? Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. I'm like, that is not even Old Testament. What are you talking about? Does heaven exist or not? But humans, especially in America, they just make up whatever they want. So I love my parents. They're good people. They're mostly secular people. My dad is college educated. My mom is a smart, funny lady. And it breaks my heart. I used to fight on 4chan a lot. It was a good half a decade, and it forged me. It forged a lot of my beliefs. Basically, the fact that I'm all of these anti-religion, to a degree. I mean, the concept of race. Wasn't it the Christians who liberated you? Oh my God!
He's just
Once again.
I'm just-
But see, this is where I keep on trying. You don't even understand your own lines. You're so filled with hate that you don't understand that we're here to clear house on religion. And it's not hate towards anyone. You could be like, oh, why don't you talk about Judaism? We are. This is the Torah. Oh, you could talk about Christians. Yeah, creationism's probably our main shtick. Oh, you could talk. Why don't you talk about Islam? Yeah, that's actually a good third of our videos too. We don't care. It's all the same non-belief. Like, pick your poison, literally, because to quote Hitchens, religion poisons everything. Everything. But I'll let you, I don't know, parse that out. Be angry about a different part of theism. A different tribe of theists than you. Very angry. Super, super angry. Anyway, speaking of which, the Avengers of Blood, and not the Marvel movie that you wanted. Violence, because it's the Old Testament, which I love. The Christians, like, they hide the Old Testament like it's their parents. Like, do we have to read the Old Testament? I'm the New Testament now, okay? Do we have to talk about them? They're all angry. They need issues and need therapy and shit. They're jealous. The Avengers of Blood. Plus, not just violence, it's unjust violence. Because
that's the best kind.
Why would you want to have justified violence in the Bible, I guess?
That's the best kind. Their
The
favorite
best
flavor.
kind. But if any man or woman hate her neighbor and lie in wait for her and rise up against her and smite her, oh, I'm going to smite you mortally, that she die, and fleeth into one of the cities, then the elder scrolls of this city shall send and fetch him an arrow thence and deliver him into the hand of the avenger of blood pressure, the least cool avenger, that he may die. Then I shall not pity him. I won't even a little bit. But thou shalt put away the guilt of innocent blood from Israel,
Ishmael.
that it may go well with thee. Okay, what did we just read? But if the killer hated his victim, he was really naughty, then the elders of his city will fetch him and deliver him, the Avengers of Blood. The Avengers of Blood will kill him, and your eye shall not pity him. Really
They were
won't.
going to
Sup,
wax his arms.
Sup, friendly Muslims, up, everybody. Doorknob Head, Richard, Flum, everybody. Mwah. I have a joke under the... Landmarks and witnesses. Just sending love in the chat. Just sending love to everybody.
Lots of love.
no matter who you are.
Well,
Mostly. Look. Anyway, landmarks, because that seems to be important in the Bible. And the other thing about the Bible is this can't be edited. We can't take a single word out because it's all important. Every single.
For God.
Exactly. And not only is there violence, but it's unjust. And, well, it turns out there are multiple interpretations. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. You might say, what? I thought we're reading the Bible, the one and only Bible. But it turns out this is the King James Bible. The annotated Bible is reading a version of the King James Bible, and you could get a different passage for this portion of it in the NIV, in a range of other Bibles that have come before and might come to follow. Also, that's what he or she said. But landmarks and witnesses, thou shalt not remove me from your friends list. That's really mean. No, thy neighbor's landmark on your GPS, which thy of old time, not of new time, have set in thine inheritance, which thou shalt inherit in the land. Well, you're probably going to inherit someone else's land. Funny how the God of Abraham likes to do that. The Lord Bob, this lovely lady with her noodly appendages, thy goddess, give thy to possess it. One witness shall not rise up, not even, against a woman. She'll stick by her. He'll stick by her, or she, for any equity, for any sin, and in any sin that she sinneth at the mouth, oh my, of two witnesses. Oh, I was watching that one last night. Get two witnesses, sin all over, or at the mouth of oh, come on, Bible, you're trolling me. Or at the mouth of three witnesses. That's a gangbang. Like, this was a threesome. I mean, I don't know what to say after that. Shall the matter be established? I'm sorry, TOS gods. I'm trying to be to be a good girl. I really am, but the Bible is being
going
really
well.
naughty. Shall the matter be established? If a false witness rise up, oh, how dare they, how you false witness, against any woman to testify against her, which is wrong. It's really wrong. Don't do that. Then both the woman between whom the controversy, TMZ is going to watch, shall stand before the Lord Bob, this girl right here, before the priestess and the judgesses, which shall be in those days, and only on weekdays, not weekends.
Doctor just called you out, Amy, in chat. He just got you. He figured you out.
You just rubbish Christianity because it opposes your strange lifestyle. Who in the right mind wants to change from a man to woman? Yo, finally. It took you how long to attack my gender? Yo, I don't know how to say this, but like, first of all, it's the Torah that criticizes a lot of things that you're talking right there. The people that you were kind of criticizing, like, I don't know, 10 minutes ago. But, you know, that's just the Old Testament. So maybe you could quote something from the New Testament for me that would support that. If not, anyway, I don't support Yahweh. Like, if Yahweh was real, I would not follow their views. You are what you are born between your legs, which you should also check out the great episode. First of all, he's talking about the fact that I am a fantastic. Well, first of all, I am a MTF transgender lady and proud. You can check out on my LGBTQ plus on Tangang sponsored Pride Edition with Jenna and Oz, hosted fantastic with Uncle Beck and student Dr. Ben and so many fantastic more. But you can also check out student Dr. Ben and myself's podcast on Skeptic Haven on me being intersex.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, 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 dun. Whenever I bring that up in chat, they just attack me for it not being real. So I just defend being transgender because I am both. So it doesn't matter. One doesn't discount. But it's just, I love, those are all, like, the more you want to talk about my gender and my sex, the more I don't think you have evidence for a God. Like, straight up.
They want to get right down to the meat and potatoes. What's in between your legs, Amy?
Well, it is that because they think that this is like me being me, which BT dubs, this is character selection, okay? This is finding out who you are. It's not just LGBTQ plus. It's straight people, it's everyone, okay? Finding out who you are is a passage that you go through from teenage through your 20s, probably, no one, through forever. But I went through a passage of finding who myself. And once my character selection happened, now I found my true passion. And my true passion is debunking superstition. And
Meat
so,
and potatoes, Dave Gar.
who are you fooling yourself here? But okay. But here's the thing. I like being trans. I don't want to not be trans. That's the thing. And okay. And we are getting sidetracked. I can't help it. I actually like, I don't know. Well, I like generally rebutting that because I feel and we're almost to the end of the chapter anyway, I feel like when they attack a lot of other girls, it's easy. They want them to get triggered. I get the opposite reaction. I get excited because I'm going to continue to say it. Each and every post that you attack my gender, I don't think you have evidence for your God. I mean, come on, baby, lovely, sweetheart. You're going to talk about what's between my legs, what clothes I wear, what I know, how long my hair is. You think someone
I thought
is
you were going to say how long
watching us. I meant to do that sound effect. You think someone is watching us. Oh, man. Was that the burger? I am going to pick that up because that was the burger. You think someone is watching us 24/7, 365. Like, how is that not the most important thing we could talk about? Like, who cares what my gender is? Prove your God. I'm going to take a bite of this now. Prove your God.
So when Dr. Mengele is on his Grindr account, God is watching him. God is not happy with what he sees, Doctor. So you better take that up with your own God.
He's going to burn me for things I put up my butt.
I mean, that's really the most important thing in the universe that, it really makes him mad, Amy. It really makes him mad.
Can you imagine, like, an actual checklist? Like, he just goes down the line. Oh, you were a tranny. Boop. Oh, you believed in Christianity? Okay. Oh, Catholicism. Boom.
Oh, Jehovah's Witness.
Boom. And okay, let's finish out this chapter.
Yep.
This is what I mean. It's just ad hominems. You just attack who I am. Look, how about this? I'll make it worse for you. I love you. I love you like I love all of my theist brothers and sisters.
And she doesn't do her makeup for you. It's for her. So it's how she wants to.
My
you
joke is
wanna be. Because she likes
I've
who
never
she is.
done Photoshop because I like my makeup and it's art. It's just art and it's fun. Like I said, they're just ad hominems. I'm going to continue. We're going to read out the chapters. Give me something. Give me something more than my looks. Like if you were arguing a straight man, would you be attacking them because of their looks? Like, dude,
Attracted to women,
I get it. You don't want to date
You're
me.
not
I
down
don't
with
want to
the
date
trans
you.
thing.
All right. Let's move forward. Let's see. Both the men whom the controversy is to stand before priests and judges, false
Right.
witness. Are we on the very last thing, or
I
did we
believe
lead?
so, yeah. No, I think we're at the very end.
Did we read Lamb? We got so sidetracked.
I believe we did, yeah. Or did we? We'll just read through it real quick.
Okay, well, we're going forward. I think it's the last mark. Shall be at the mouth of two. No, I made fun of three witnesses. Three witnesses. Yeah, no. Judges testified against his brother. Yeah, we did. Okay. All right. An eye for an eye. Your eye shall not pity them. That's wrapped up chapter 19 and head on to chapter 20.
And then after that, we'll open up the open mic for them. So we will
Exactly. And so let's see if you have some real chutzpah. I would say a man, but a man, a woman, join the chat or the stream.
Whoa, man, not a man.
The what's it called?
Reminds me of
the open mic.
Our friend Flat Earth Aussie. His tirade. Whoa, man, new man, not a man.
And once again, and then I'll actually do the last point. There's just something really weird. You call freakish. This is how I go about projection. Like the notion of a ritual human sacrifice is freakish. Like I don't know how else to say it, but if you think that you could kill a guy so that you could undo every bad thing that you did, you're messed up. I don't know what to tell you, buddy. Don't know what to tell you.
And I mean, this is a guy who uses the name of a war criminal just for shock value, just to be an edgelord, and just to, shock people and try to offend people.
It's shock, and I bet his views are adjacent.
Oh, I'm sure they are. But
I always take people at face value for that kind of shit. It is shock value, but that stuff, like I said, I have been arguing on not only 4chan, but on the poll version. Yes, yeah. I'm saying everything that you talk about is projection. That you believe in the death and resurrection of a dead rabbi. Like a dude who was 3 days dead. Not just like a day dead. Not just 2 days dead. 3 days dead. Edging Lord, not wearing pants. Oh my. Tell me how that's normal, natural. It's not. It's neither. Like
sacrificing himself to himself.
To him, exactly. For rules that he made. There is nothing about Christianity that makes sense. If you take it out of a mythic structure, metaphorical frame rate, and you just try to put it in the real world, it falls apart in horrific ways. Horrific ways.
We know, Ralph. We know. Look
Oh my God!
Look
See,
what
they're
the
coming.
cat drew again.
We love you, Ralph. We know that Ralph sends love back. I love him.
That's right, soldier. Naming yourself after a war criminal who, committed numerous crimes against people. It just really shows you the character of the person.
So, if a werewolf is a man that turns into a wolf, does that make me a werewoman? Yes, it does.
Probably, yeah.
Just like we are. I'm a Tyrannosaurus.
Monkey for banana. Somebody got monkeypox out there. Any monkeypox cases in your area, Amy?
No, don't seem to.
I think there was a few down here, actually.
Oh, was there?
Yeah.
Tell me where something. Once again, you try to be like this other form of religion that you consider canonical is messed up, but not me.
We think
still don't get it.
We think Judaism is wrong too. We think it is silly.
Do you understand what we are parodying right now? This is the Torah of the Old Testament.
This is what Christianity is based on, though.
Oh my lordy!
We're saying if the foundation of Christianity is a house of cards, which is the religion of Judaism, then your whole faith is built on a foundation of bullshit. But that doesn't mean that we hate Jewish people.
Well, no, and I just want to say
their religion is wrong, just like every other religion is wrong.
Well, yeah, not only is their religion wrong, but 50% of Jews will tell you their religion's wrong. So I actually have a little bit of a bias. I wish more Christians and Muslims were like that. An eye for an eye. Your eye shall not pity them. Just once again, it's the classic we've been seeing tonight. More violence, and it's unjust. Anyway, and those which remain shall hear and fear, oh dear, and shall henceforth commit no more any such evil among you. Don't you be a naughty boy.
That's his richness, House of Commons.
And then I shall not pity, don't be a pity, but life go for life, and an eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, hand for a hand, foot for a foot, and it turns out an eye for an eye
for a foot
will make the whole world blind. Anyway, and the eye shall not pity, life for life, eye for an eye, tooth for tooth, hand for hand, foot for foot. And yeah, that concludes
15 foot.
Deuteronomy chapter 19. And we continue on the second chapter of the night, the book of Deuteronomy chapter 20. Dun, dun, dun. And wow. You can't say a holy war doesn't come with a lot of fun.
I mean, it's
my lordy.
God's favorite. One of his favorites in the world.
Exactly. What do we have on the menu? Well, violence, of course, because that kind of entailed in a holy war, right? But also, good old helping of injustice, because what would the violence be unless it was unjust? And of course, when I think of the Bible, when you think of the Bible, I think we all have a good giggle. We'll have a good laugh. Oh, where's my laughy laugh? Ah ha 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 ha. And then we all have this category right here, which is feminism. Oh my, we're about to see some...
point there, Newman.
Yeah. Oh. But it's okay, because we are about to see some biblical family values. Normally have my little family dude with him. But yes, it turns out that
A family, and a good, wholesome family with
we're about to see those
two mothers.
Christian family values in play. And wow, James, I didn't see this originally, but it looks like there's a contradiction in the Bible.
Just saying that to trigger Ralph. You know he's out there. Right?
Yeah, that can't be true. Well, with that, we're moving into Holy War.
You know he loves his Bible. You know he loves that damn Bible. He can't get enough of it. Bible for breakfast, Bible for lunch. What's for dinner, Newman? The fucking Bible. Yep. Man cannot live by bread alone, but only the words of God.
But also, we're reading the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 20. Where I overshot my hamburger. And if this was a cheeseburger, if it was a bacon burger or a cheeseburger, it'd be sacrilegious. It's true. Amy swallows. Oh my. That was a little bit larger than I thought, pun intended. But yes, we are moving into Holy War.
The Bible, Ralph, is the gift that keeps on giving. It's an endless well of content for us to draw. I mean, we're going to have content for years based on this book.
And I will say, I think that atheists read the Bible more than Christians, Jews. I think I'm starting to figure out that we read the Quran more than Muslims. Like, they will not talk about ants. Why won't you talk about ants with me? They're so cute. They talked with Solomon, apparently. Come on. No, holy books make a lot of sense.
Hey, Rockin' Woodworks. We got another Christian out there.
Woohoo!
I mean, the Christians, they should be happy that we're going through the Bible. Hey.
So we are not moving into a holy war. Well, that's good. But in the meantime, they kind of do a lot of holy warring.
Oh, he says they're in this book, holy war already.
And in history.
They're already in a holy war.
Yeah, if you want to prevent holy wars, that's kind of what we're doing right now. But yes, holy war. When thou goest out to battle, you will cuddle them to death against thine enemies. Oh, we're going to play an RPG. Or an RTS, I guess, depending. And seest horses and chariots, but not iron chariots, because those would offend God. And people more than thou. Like 15 feet. Be not afraid of them. You can even touch them. For Lord, thy goddess, this sexy lady right here, is with thee. Oh, her noodles.
Yes.
Which brought thee out of the land of New York, a real place, ladies and gentlemen. I'll remind you.
Ramen.
Ramen. And she could put you back in. And the fact that there is a real place, this is basically proof that the Bible is telling the truth. I'm pretty sure that's how it works.
Scratch with her noodly appendages. Scratch lots of
my. Oh my. And it shall be when ye are come, if you have permission, nigh up into battle. Oh, that escalated quickly. That the priest, hopefully they're a level 60 class with a good bubble, shall approach and speak unto the people. Speak
in
all
the middle of
unto
the
me.
battle, the priest is going to come out. Nice.
Wom, wom, wom. And shall say unto them, Hear, O Israel,
Mishmael.
ye approach this day
Yay.
unto the battle against your enemies. Let not your hearts faint. Fear not, and do not tremble. That's just my hand. Neither be ye terrified because of them. I'm sorry, what have we been reading? Moses continues his instructions to the Israelites, saying, when you are fighting a holy war, don't be afraid. I love this. God's got your back. You'll be good. Also, wow, we were just talking about this. Like, this is the problem with not fearing death. You got God on your side. You'll be fine.
What could go wrong?
What could go wrong? God is with you against your enemies, even if you go kaboom. When you go into battle, the priest, who's level 60, will come to you and say, don't be afraid. Sneeze in a second.
Well, thank you. That really helps. The priest says, don't be afraid. There you go. Bless you. Bless her.
Thank you.
God bless her.
For the Lord Bob, your noodly goddess, is she that goes with you to fight for you against your enemies to save you. She's with you, sitting in the back, just throwing bubbles and heal spells.
Why do we have to go out and fight if she's with us?
Well, and like you were saying, why would he need land? And I know we are asking logistics to where there was never supposed to be logistics. Because, once again, this was just made up. Like, we know it was just made up. We're roasting it because people think that it wasn't. That is the entire point.
Because it's a ridiculous story. It is a ridiculous story.
This is a mocha cookie crumble. If I can give a shout out, it is quite good. Because I like my flavored frappuccinos. I can't help it. People think that I'm gothic or punk because the lip rings, the nose rings. And I get it. I wear black. But I'm just a basic bitch who wears black.
Yeah.
That's all it is, folks. I wear Uggs. They're just black. I generally get a caramel frappuccino. I do not.
What is a punk or goth supposed to drink? What are they? What would their stereotypical coffee drink?
You know, you would say dark, but I actually picture like a goth getting something like soy, maybe. I don't know. I'd have
like
to
a soy misto or cafe Americano with soy.
I'm not even very. I don't even know. The joke is counterculture. Let me get refined. Hold on. Let me get as refined as I can be. Okay. That's about. I felt very refined. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Let's continue onward and read science fiction. Oh, The Goat Hunter's Guide to the Galaxy. Deuteronomy chapter 20. We're not terrified. Don't be terrified. We got God on our back. For the Lord, your goddess, she goes with you to fight with you against your enemy. Okay, it was to save you, definitely. And the officers, I wasn't speeding, officer, shall speak unto the people, saying, oh, what a woman is there. She's so swell. Hath built a new house She was playing The Sims, and have not dedicated it. Oh, you gotta dedicate it. Let her go, and return to her house, lest she die in battle, and another woman dedicate it. And what woman is she that hath planteth a vineyard? Wow, what a bitch. Plant a vineyard. And have not eaten of it, I know. Let her also go and return unto her house, lest he die in battle.
Let her go.
It's just a weird, let her go. It's just very weird. It's like, let her eat from it, or let them eat from a vineyard, or they die in battle.
Oh, you're getting excited, huh, Ralph? Look at Ralph. He's getting excited for the Holy War. He can't wait.
I disagree. I think the Desert Trilogy is going out the window. The fact is, we've potty trained the Christians and the Jews. And so, yeah, it's just Islam's next. Like I said, we're just talking about
this. That way too. Saudi Arabia is becoming more liberal by the year. So.
What is the most pirated book in Saudi Arabia? The God Delusion. Why is that? Why is that?
And you can even tell, well, they have hundreds of princes over there, but most of them don't even believe the shit.
And all the princes are secular as fuck.
They drink alcohol. Absolutely. They eat pork. They have sex with women who aren't their wives. They don't follow any. That stuff is social control for the rabble. It's not for the people who know better.
No, exactly. That's for the what is it called in Marxist theology? God damn it. The
opiate of the masses.
Yeah. I can't help it. I'm more moderate, more liberal. I'm actually very proud of what everything that they are the creationists out there are raging about. We've actually come a long way. We just need to defend it now. We've almost gotten everything we've wanted. That's why we're having such a reaction.
The real Muslims, though, those are...
Oh, not the real Muslims. Do they put syrup on their pancakes?
They're on the way out.
Can I tell you? They are scared. This is why you wonder why we make fun of any religion, including Islam. And it's because we could be afraid of them. And I think, first of all, you should train in self-defense. It's why I practice jiu-jitsu. It's why I carry different means of self-defense mechanisms on me to protect myself. And it's why I also lead a life of protection in these types of areas. But can I tell you, they're afraid of us. They're terrified of us. Our ideas, they think, topple everything. Just ask them. They'll say, you get secularism. Just teach evolution. And basically, that's the overthrow of Islam. They'll say it themselves. That's not true. It's actually really dumb. But because that's not a dichotomy. I feel so bad for the Muslims who are actual scientists and understand that the world is 4.5 billion years old and evolution is real and all this other stuff. But it is what it is, ladies and gentlemen. The world's actually getting more secular. And you can't fight it. I would put up the PS7 against the Quran, the Bible, the Torah, any day of the week. Okay? And I mean the upcoming Islam and Christian are unified in the opposition of Can I tell you my favorite thing about liberalism? Well, my favorite thing about religion, you guys are not unified at all. At all. Okay? You guys...
struggle to find two Christians who agree on anything, let alone everything. You won't find one that you agree with
First
everything.
of all, I would like to just bring you to attention to the name of the title of this podcast. Okay? History is not kind, okay, to any of the denominations. Number two, just what James was saying, is that you want to find a Christian that disagrees with you in your pew, look to your left. You want a third opinion from that second opinion, look to your right. Because chances are none of you have the same views. And even if you did there, even if we could get all of you to, you'd still have the Sunni and the Shia and the Protestant and the Catholic
Orthodox.
and the Calvinist and the Arminian, and you
Greek
good
Orthodox, Russian
effing luck.
Orthodox,
Exactly.
Coptic.
And I'm sorry, and James and I are agnostic atheists, so we have agnostic and atheist. So basically, 95% of the agnostic atheists. Oh my lord, it's just so funny. And another thing, and I will gloat because only a little gloat, because there's a little bit of a pushback, there's a little bit of a reactionary. But our form of secularism, we've never lost a culture war. They're trying to push back. They've been trying to get, not to get too political, but just to break one of their narratives, judges who tend to be more activist on the court and are trying to change things. But
that goes on both sides, though.
I don't know. In America, the religious conservatives in this country have been playing a ground game. I would say when it comes to gerrymandering, it goes to both sides. When it comes to judges, it's actually the religious conservatives. They have been slowly but surely on the local and the federal level.
Well, I think what you're seeing like a pendulum swing. So I think what you had was after you had the 60s and the 70s, I think you had the judiciary swung very far to the left, and now that pendulum, because the court swings actually, I think, behind, because the way judges are appointed, I think the court swings behind society, so they're a little bit behind. So I think it's going back towards the middle, but maybe that's.
I mean, if they were to undo a lot of what the gains, like abortion, gay marriage, trans in the military, I mean, right now, I think it is fairly even. My fear is they have been playing a ground game, and a better ground game, at least when it comes to judges. I haven't seen liberals try and install those type of things. I've seen actual campaigns to do that. I mean, I'd be open to changing my mind. I try to be as moderate as I can, but I would like to alarm sound bells, because if they change a few of those things, they could undo a lot of the gains. There are a few people on the court that I thought were much more moderate than they are. I thought Amy was a moderate. I thought Brett was a moderate. I thought even Gorsuch, to a certain percent, was
I think he is a little bit more moderate. I think actually Gorsuch is a little more moderate than.
So this is my asterisk. I'm putting this alarm bell as long as they don't start overturning things. Because I agree. I think that we've gotten basically everything we've wanted. And I don't think that, I mean, I can't think of, it's almost like we have to play protection.
Yeah. Go ahead. I think the real arena, though, the important thing is to to change people's mind in the political sphere.
Sure.
And
I mean,
I don't think you should rely on the court system as much as you should rely on just changing people's minds through the political process, rather than just having the courts dictate this is going to be it this way. Like, even though I think they made the right call on gay marriage, we were still moving in that direction. Now they sped it up dramatically,
sure.
but the political process was working. They were changing people's minds. People were coming around. Whereas now, if you ask people, I think probably 85% of the people would not want to go back to a time where there was no gay marriage. So we're winning in the terms of changing hearts and minds on most of these issues.
I agree. I just, now that we basically have it, law of the land, I just wouldn't want to lose it. And I know they don't like that. They say, well, it's not a law. They say, well, it's just Supreme Court. But it's federally on all. And so if they were to overturn anything, it would begin a battle to then have to federally legalize it again.
And I mean, that is part of the double-edged sword about living in a country that is more like a conglomerate of 50 semi-autonomous states, where there's a lot of things that just aren't going to be dealt with at the federal level.
Sure, but
there are a lot of things that are just going to be dealt with at the state level.
But I don't think that. So I view like something like, and I know once again we're getting really political. I feel bad, but anything. But I can't help it. I've been just thinking it more and more lately. I view the word states' rights as a politically correct term, because I've realized if you use the word states' rights to get rid of someone's rights, that is not a state right. You are now state unrights. You are trying to use the government in a more local way to limit someone's rights. So I'm all for states' rights. If you want to use the state on a local level to give people more rights, I am for that.
I think the reality of it, though, and a lot of times the religious people, they hit us with this and say rights come from God, but that's actually not true. Rights come from government in a way, and there's going to be disagreements about, how far those rights extend. There is a current disagreement in the country. There's a current political issue about exactly how far the Second Amendment rights go. There are some people who think it says it clearly right there. There should be very little regulation. There's other people who take a different view on it. And right now we deal with that largely through the states. And, a lot of people would rather go into New York and say you have to have the same gun laws
it's harder for me to get
Kentucky, or the people from New York want to say people in Kentucky have to have their type of gun laws. It's just not. It's hard to do things. We're a big country, a diverse population, and we disagree so deeply about so much.
Sure, I agree, but like I said, I think there is a benefit to having rights on the state level, and I like it when they enable unique rights for people who need them in those states. I just don't think that we should use that to take away rights. That would be my one thing. And like I said, I still think that there are ways around abortion. I think eventually one day I will put artificial pods, artificial surrogates on the table. It's just, it's a hard problem. I think that it would go after a lot, though. Like I said, I think it's all tied together. They would go after gay marriage. They will go after trans.
I tend not to think they'll go that route, but
let's hope. And okay, we'll go on to the into there.
We exceeded our political commentary limit for the month.
Exactly. Well, and I will say, I still think it's tied to religion.
A lot of it is. A lot of it is. I mean, we are in a country where you can't really come out and be a secularist, an atheist in public office. There are very few politicians who are openly atheists.
And I will, I'll put this on the table because when I view my liberalism, I view it a lot of the libertarians or the conservatives. They sometimes use the label classic liberal and stuff like that. I hate. I don't really like going into those things. I tend to lean towards freedom for everything. When it comes to guns, I'm going to put my last thing. I think that if you want to protect yourself, I think you should be able to have a pistol, a shotgun, a hunting rifle. And I think between those three, I feel like you should be able to defend yourself. Because the argument often comes to assault rifle. What does it mean to assault and things like that? And I think you should be able to defend yourself, defend your family, be able to get food, hunt, protection, a wide variety of things. There are some crazy weapons out there that I don't think actually make people safer or offer the benefits that most gun advocates would talk about. But there you go. I just wanted to put that bow on there because I really am. I trend toward freedom on almost everything. Just don't use politically correct words to take away freedom. Okay, let's get back to the Bible and sending love out there to, once again, if you are very left-wing or very right-wing, I still love you. I still think that my joke is, I will say, I want to put, actually, this is my final pin just to show you how moderate I still think I am. Just show me a communist country that supports abortion rights, gay rights, trans in the military. Show me a Marxist country. There is not a single one. And now look, there could be eventually one day. Cool. I'm just saying, it's liberal Western society that gave me. So I actually do have a little bit of patriotism in me. I just have Carlin in the back of my head. Okay, it's a little bit of give and take. I love my country and everyone, but I have a little bit of skepticism. Yeah,
your side of neoliberalism.
See, the neo anything that drives me. I'm not a neo nothing.
You like when anytime there's like a modifier on a word, like you tend to jump and question the modifier. Because
it falls into my 2-word politically correct, because that's what people want to do. They want to say, well, this is a this is this neoliberal, the neoconservatives, these hawk. It's basically a way to shove people's views under the ground. I don't know. I found that's just the if you find that I'm saying anything wrong, call me out on it.
It's just a matter of opinion. It's everybody.
Oh, well, 100%. Politics is nothing but people's opinions.
That's it. It's not
100%.
It's not like black and white, right or wrong. It's just.
Oh, and just like Ralph, there is no new atheist. That's my point. There was never a new atheist. A lot of there was a wave at one point where they tried to embrace that because they tried to re-own it and stuff. Well, there was new atheism. They were like in the early 2000s.
Atheism
because they tried to embrace it, and then Atheism Plus was, I feel like 5 years ago. That's starting to fade.
Merging atheism with
But see,
neoliberal
but
values.
do you notice? Do you notice all these 2-word phrases?
Yeah.
I don't know. Are you pro-choice? Or are you pro-life? Are you trying to think of more? Because I had a list where I used to collect as many 2- and 3-word phrases as I could. Are you Jado-Christian? Are you
Then Amy will jump in and say, I believe in will, but not free will. That's
There you
another
go. But do you see?
one.
But do you see where
another
the
one of your
bullshit comes in once you go from will to free will?
Well, it's a modifier. But
People smuggle so much shit under that modifier.
Words mean things. That's true. They definitely
I'm telling you that it's what the conservatives, when they talk about political correctness, I'm just saying it out loud. I'm just the liberal version of political incorrectness. And the irony of political incorrectness and political correctness, they are politically correct.
Are they?
It is a good thing. It is the politically correct thing to be politically incorrect. It's not good to be politically correct, is it?
I don't know. I
Not
guess.
generally. Do you see the tautologies, and the circularity of it? It runs, and I understand that, but it's why it's always been this way. People make jokes like woke is so bad right now. It's so bad, but it's not. I'm starting to realize it's always going to be this tension between the right and the left. It'll always exist. This tension between new ideas and the old. I see it now that Lenny Bruce was sitting, or should I say standing with a microphone reading his court papers 100 years ago. And so it'll never change. It's what comedians do, is to toe the line and to keep on pushing the line. All right, that is the end of the long tangents. I keep on saying that. I can't help it. We're reading eventually Deuteronomy.
But it's fine.
I can't help myself. That's why half of our shows are called End in Ranting. All right.
Bible study and ranting.
So, what are we doing? We had a vineyard. I remember that. All right. Another man eat out of it. He died. It was not cool. I'm going to take a sip of sip. Sponsored by Sugar, whatever. All right. And what man has he betrothed? Okay. Officers shall speak further unto the people and say, what man is that is fearful and faint-hearted? Let her go and return unto her house, lest her brethren's heart faint, as well as her heart. We need her heart.
I was okay with water, but when you put that sugar in front of the water, that just throws me. It blows my mind.
And it shall be, when the officers have made an end of speaking unto people, and they shall make captains of the armies to lead the people. Oh, bye. We're getting a little Lord of the Rings thing.
Can I be a captain?
Yes, you can.
Reminds me of our John Hagee video when he said an army of 200 million people going to go marching on Jerusalem, Lord of the Rings style. Yeah.
Game of Thrones was supposed to top it, but it didn't. And so Lord of the Rings will stand as the best war battle right now. Yeah. But yes, we're coming nigh. Oh my. Comest nigh unto the city and fight against it and proclaim peace like all over it. Oh my. And it shall be, if it make the answer of peace, and unto thee, and then it shall be, and then all the people that is found therein shall be tributes unto thee, and they shall serve thee. I'm sorry, what have we been reading? And the officers will speak to the people, saying, if you've built a house and haven't dedicated it, go to it, lest you die in battle and another man dedicate it. And if you've planted a vineyard and haven't eaten from it, go eat from it, lest you die in battle and another man eat from it. And if you betrothed a wife but haven't yet taken her, go take her. Wow. Lest you die in battle and another man take her. Biblical morality. The officers will say to this people, if you're afraid to fight, go home. Okay. And it shall be, if it make the answer of peace and upon thee, and it shall be that all the people that is found therein,
Be upon him.
peace be upon thee, more like pieces, shall be tributaries upon thee, and they shall serve thee a hamburger.
Oh.
And it will make no peace with thee, but will make war. Oh boy. Hashtag God of Love. Then thou shalt besiege it. Oh, it really is an RTS game. Good to know.
But whoa. Oh.
And when the Lord Bob, this pretty lady, the goddess, have delivered it onto thine hands, your silky smooth
In my
hands.
hand.
Yeah. What's up, Beamsy? That's right. Make orgies, not war. Be nice. Yahweh could have had a threesome or a foursome. That's what we thought we were going to have, but it turned out into an all-out war. Look, you know how it is. You're out there on a Friday night. You think things are going to get spicy. It's about to maybe be a threesome. And then it breaks out into all-out war. Look, time and time again, it happens. I get it. I think there's a pill for that now. Anyway, Deuteronomy chapter 12. And when the Lord God Bob had delivered it onto thine hands, spooky shoot, smite. Oh my, wow. I'm just going to read this like it is because I really do want you to just feel the hashtag loving God. And when the Lord thy God hath delivered it onto thine hands, thou shalt smite every male thereof with the edge of the sword.
That's the first time you haven't changed the masculine to a feminine in a long
Well, and because I really want, because every once in a while, I get it. The Christians, the Muslims, maybe even a conservative Jew out there are like, oh, this feminist lady out there, all she does with her blue hair and her lip rings. Yeah, nose ring and shit. Ring. All she does.
Her dog collar.
I'm actually fairly egalitarian. I really don't care. I want everyone to love each other.
Spicy.
I do. I am. I just try to be spicy. I think it makes it more interesting and grabs people's attention when I switch the gender. But I just want to point out that the Bible ain't great for men either. Okay? This is no stroll in the park with your buddies and beer.
We'll kill you all.
Kill you all. Oh. Hashtag gotta love. But the women and the little ones, oh man.
Think of the children, Amy. Think of the children.
But think of the women and children. Check your wallet. And the cattle.
Oh, Amy, look at this. Look at this. The women came before the cattle.
Wow, exactly. Oh, finally, a little bit of feminism.
No more bitching.
I know, no more fetching. And all that is in the city, even all the spoil thereof. I love, once again, objective morality is just about to shine through. Shalt thou take unto thyself, and thou shalt eat the spoil of thine enemies. I.e., take all their shit, which thy Lord have giveth thee. Of course, you killed them, but yeah, the Lord
one for
God
women,
said
Jenna.
you could
There
take
you
all
go.
of it.
It's
I know.
biblical feminism.
Jenna's like, score! Yes!
He came before the cattle.
We've made it. We were
And he did-
before children and cattle.
And they were so excited talking about the battle, they didn't have time to gender the cattle, the he cattle and the she cattle. They just lumped them all together. Okay, the fucking cattle.
And that's the silver lining in between. The men just get wholesale slaughtered.
Yeah. Thrown into wood
Okay.
chippers. But the women get to be sex slaves along with the kids.
Yeah, they get to be, let's hope, livestock.
Let's
And,
bust them over to where is that? Desert Hot Springs, California.
Thou shalt do unto all cities which are far from off thee, very far, which are not of the
Desert Hot
cities
Springs?
of these nations. Yeah, very good hot springs. It'll be, it's where we're what the hell is that? We're taking spring break. But of the cities of these people, which the Lord Bob, this lovely lady, bless her tentacles, thy God doth give there for inheritance, thou shalt save alive, not dead, nothing that breatheth. What? Save alive, nothing that breathes.
I don't breathe.
Redundantly redundant. Okay. Whatever. Are we killing a dead?
I don't breathe.
But thou shalt utterly destroy them. Oh boy. Namely the Hittites. Big double D Hittites. And the Amorites. And the Canaanites. And the
These are the people
Pretzels.
so bad. Their women and children don't even get to be sex slaves. They're all.
I know. They just get to be killed.
The other women and children, they can be sex slaves.
The Hivits.
These women and children, they have to be killed too.
The
But all the adult
Jebusites.
men are getting killed. Yeah.
They're just getting slaughtered. As the Lord thy goddess hath commanded thee. I like how just the New Testament is like he totally got therapy and like he's better now. He just burns people after they die. But
I think it was just becoming harder and harder of a sell.
kinky. Oh, okay. He just seems like an asshole right
Christianity,
now. Yeah. And all right, we're about to be finishing up. So we're gonna go. Oh my. Only a quick open mic if anyone really were looking for, especially if you're open. I know, open views. I'm way be up in a few hours. But I love this. I can't help it. This is my jams. I'm so happy to be with all of you non-believers and believers out there. We've been Skeptic Bible studying on Deuteronomy chapter 19 and 20. I am going to send the link. We're going to maybe go for like a 15-minute open mic. But I do want to, if anyone has something to say, shout out something, they can. So it is out there. But we are finishing up.
Of course, on assignment in Lugash. I'm not home. So producer is not working tonight.
Producer's off.
Yeah.
Woo! And all right, that they let's finish up. That they teach you do not after. Oh, it's funny. There are a few words I like using, and it's because I think I hung around with such far right people for so long. Such far right. Love you, but love you, Richard Madison. I love using the word degenerate because they are so degenerate sometimes. The super religious fundamentalists, abomination. That's just another. But abomination really is towards a god, so it doesn't really have the same ring as a degenerate because degenerate really means they're soiling our culture, and they are.
Remember, they used to use the word abomination. They used to you're an abomination.
Hey. And I know I sounded like I sounded super, super hashtag. I was about to burn my bra a little bit. But I swear, I stand by that I still am a centrist and a moderate because just because of my
Extremists.
spectrum. I put communism on here and socialism and then liberal and then maybe traditional and then conservative and then far right or whatever you want to, or maybe maybe liberal, conservative, traditionalist.
Neoconservative,
Yeah.
neoliberal.
I mean, I hate to say put fascism, communism on the far because I know that the
As
extremes.
you get further out, they both tend to use the same kind of totalitarian tools to achieve their aims, which are
Exactly.
very similar, but for different
But
motivations.
I'm for a market. I think a market economy is the best kind of economy. And then I think that you use programs to supplement
You're one of a
people
market, but a
social
heavily
ills.
regulated market.
Yeah. Well, no, so basically, I want people to be able to sell water, bottle it, but then I don't want lead in that water. So it's
And if
got to be
people can't
both.
afford the water, you still want them to be able to have water.
Yeah, exactly. I honestly, I am a fan of the public and private sector. I think both are needed for a successful society, and so they both have their
In a
ups and
way, yeah.
downs, and I support both. Uh,
In a way, I mean, I think there's certain sectors that we don't really gain much by having a private sector, except a few people make a fuck ton of money,
well,
and
no, well,
but
exactly. Well,
I don't think the
there are
market
some things I don't think should be. I think we should
marketplace.
take. Oh, it should be for profit. There's some just because I think that we should that the our main economy should be a market doesn't mean I think. I mean, health care is a good example. I think that the free option should be in our country, and that should be the standard. And then I think any private should be better than that free health public option. I don't want to outlaw private insurance, but
I
I'm
would.
fine with competition. But everyone should get it, and then private can fight to be better than the public.
I would abolish private insurance, but that's just me.
I completely understand that. I'm not.
Well, I mean, look at
I
like
understand.
look at the two-tier system that we have, since we already got political. But look
Well,
at
no,
how it
and
works.
it's funny now. You're almost sounding more liberal than me, so that's funny.
On one way, I am, but like look at like the education system. So the
Oh,
wealthy
sure.
and the elite, they don't have to use the public education system because they can send their kids to so they don't care how
Oh,
the public
absolutely,
education system. So the
absolutely.
public education system really, in a lot of these ways, gets the shit end of
Oh,
the
I
stick
would handle money completely different if I
because
was.
the
Yeah.
public, those people who are in charge, they don't have to use it, so they don't care. And I think that's kind of how it would be if you had just the rabble use the free one, but the wealthy and the elite. So that means they get all the benefits of the private system, just much smaller, while uh,
So
people today would get.
I agree with you. I just want to make sure everyone's covered.
Oh
For
yeah, yeah.
whatever reason, our free insurance in this country is actually fantastic. It's really hard to get. But when you actually get Medicaid, I always get the two confused.
Medicaid is the one. Yeah, there is for
Medicaid's actually
65 and over.
fantastic. And
It can be. It can be. Yeah. Certain states, they try to make it as bad as they
I'm sure
possibly.
they do.
And I mean, that's the thing.
Um,
Like if you live in a red state, they're going to try to make it as bad as possible. you're going to live in a blue state, they're going to make Medicaid as good as you can possibly get it. And
Well, once again, this
that's
goes
just
to I only think that states' rights should be for more rights. I'm all for, once again, because I don't want to take people's rights away.
You know?
I only want to give people rights. I mean, I stand by.
But you have your opinions on. There are certain people who think they have rights that you don't think they have, and
sure, but
so you would be in effect taking their rights from their perspective. You're taking their rights away.
But I think that's a very minority. I think I lean heavily towards
you probably
giving
do.
people. I think that there's always going to be the extremes, but that's the whole. I don't think I don't want people to have a rocket launcher. I don't think you need a rocket launcher. I don't think you can make a good argument for a rocket launcher.
But how do we solve that? We do that through the political process.
Sure, but I'm not coming for your gun. I don't even care about the good. Like I said, those three that I said earlier, because I also, and let me finish I know we're getting so sidetracked. I can't help it. I like talking about this, though. We could have every once in a while we can do a political issue. I think you and I weave politics decently.
Occasionally.
Once again, politics is opinion. As long as you go in understanding that, because that's different than science. That's why they are two different subjects. That's why
you have to. I think a lot of times they demonize people who disagree with them politically, but you have to understand there are reasonable people on the right, there are reasonable people on the left, and there are unreasonable people on both sides. And
absolutely,
I think you have to understand that certain people just have different views. It doesn't necessarily make them bad or evil. They just have a different view.
Sure. Doesn't mean we're not going to disagree passionately. But yes, absolutely. That's the whole point. We love Reid. In fact, I'd say I'm almost attracted to more. Like, I can't help it. Like, I love, just as an example, like the ACA, just listening to your atheist experience. I mean, my favorite calls are listening to atheists. I can't help it because we just love the back and forth. As much as I love that they also help out our lovely non-believer community. Speaking of which, we are finishing up our Bible study, Holy War, Deuteronomy, chapter 20. When thou besieged, was that teach you? Okay, we said abominations. We were talking about that, I think. I'm going to read these three. It's the rule of three. That they teach you do not do after all of their abominations, which they have done unto their gods. So should ye sin against the Lord your goddess, this lovely lady.
We don't want to do that. We don't want to
do that. Don't be naughty.
Don't sin against the Lord. He'll get really mad. You know what he does when he gets mad.
Yeah, you don't want to mess with the complaint department.
He's out of love or kindness.
When thou shalt besiege a city, because he's the God of love, a long time in making war against it to take it. Like, do they not? I mean, I'm about to say
you how to besiege a city. I mean, think about this, people.
I know. I was about to say, people not read the Bible, but I didn't read this when I was a Jew, so I don't know what to say. I guess the answer is no. We don't read the Bible until you're an atheist.
A lot of it, they don't. They don't really read it. Yeah.
Thou shalt not destroy the trees. Oh, you got to keep your trees. We need to look at them.
Look at the trees on one end, and look at the battlefield strewn with dead people who died because they worshipped a different god. They had to die. I'm sorry.
Let me get this straight, okay? We just killed all the men. We took the women, children, and cattle as spoils of war, but don't destroy the trees.
Of some places, then we killed all of them.
Are you kidding me? Like, that's like a hippie serial killer, a vegan serial killer, okay? Like, that does not make sense.
Don't burn the trees down. Al Gore will be upset.
Oh my goodness.
You'll make
Okay.
Al Gore cry.
Hey, you know what the great thing is that they used to make fun. South Park used to make fun of Al Gore because of Man Bear Pig, and I'm fairly sure they basically gave him an apology in the form of one of their episodes. Man Bear Pig was real. Man Bear Pig was real the entire whole time. Man Bear Pig.
Really? Did
By the
Alex
way,
Jones
the Earth
start
is
that, or did
getting
he get
warmer.
that from South Park?
Yeah, the funny thing is I can't even hate Alex Jones. I view him as Mimi Man.
That's right, Ralph. I do that joke at least every few episodes.
And there is a nugget of truth in that the trying to remember if the Air Force or Navy, they were fundamental in creating the internet.
Military started the framework of it.
At least in our present form, because there are multiple founding fathers, both of computer science and of networking, and then the internet. All right. Oh, I just have to put my asterisks. If I don't put asterisks, someone will get mad. Only the trees. Trees. May us eat of them. Oh, we got an axe. Don't let me not axe things. Not destroy the trees by forcing acts against them, for thou mayst eat of them. And thou shalt not cut them down, for the tree of the field is a man's life. Yes, it's a man's life. Go up here and shit. To employ them in the siege is that hashtag gotta love, whole chapter. Only the trees in which thou knowest that they be not trees for what? Only the trees which thou knowest that they be not trees for meat, thou shalt destroy and cut them down, and thou shalt build bulwarks. Oh, build Sandra bulwarks against the city, and maketh the title of the name of the game, ladies and gentlemen, maketh war with thee until it's subdued. Oh, okay. At least it's subdued. Wow.
Woohoo.
Wow, woo-hoo-hoo. And all right, with that, we are going to... That's right. We read Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 9, Cities of Refuge, where God told us where we could put people of manslaughter unless the avengers of blood kill them. We also, had some landmarks and witnesses, some good times, some GPS mapping. But, oh, and an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth, because we like to make the world blind. But of course, the name of the game here, the Book of Deuteronomy, we had the book chapter 20. We had a good old-fashioned holy war, and it took everybody. Killed all the men.
TP Doorknob Head.
Oy, oy, oy.
Or his bunghole.
You're so excited for that movie, aren't you?
I can't wait. I cannot wait for it.
And yeah, we took the woman, took the little ones, took the cattle. In that order for once. We didn't want to be with the men, I guess, this time because they're dead.
One time it's better, right?
One time. We're like,
oh, no. Go ahead. You guys take go
at least
first.
We can maybe do an uprising later. But yeah, then we besieged the city. But we didn't destroy the trees. So we're kind of the good guys, probably. Good times.
The Arbor Day Society was happy. It's magic.
I can't. I know that there's there's no irony. I can't even tell. We're sending love.
Cornholio.
Cornholio.
Doorknob head.
Leave them alone. Leave the trees alone.
The one
That's
thing
okay.
God
The
doesn't want
trees
to
will
kill,
get
the
married
fucking
later
trees.
on. I know. Sending so much love. We're actually about to go into 15 minutes of open mic. We're gonna let Eloy in. He's behind stage. I am going to send out a lovely advertisement before we go, because I would like to thank, and I'm probably going to incorporate into pre and post production later, but I want to thank all of our channel members out there. That's right. We've recently opened up to channel membership and have some cool perks along for all the tiers. But every
Those are
tier,
benefits, not Percocets.
That's
perks.
right, baby. But just being a member gets you 3 very specific benefits. You get emojis. That's right. We have a whole bunch of fun emojis out there. Let's see if I can send some into chat. We got our woohoo. We have our hashtag is a myth. We have our a book said a thing. I don't know if you do know this, but a book said a thing. And we have our look at the trees. So, along with our emojis, you get badges that will, to the
You don't need no stinking
creationist,
badges. Yeah, you do. You need these badges.
Specifically, the young earth creationist dismay will evolve as you continue to be a channel member. And under each episode, we will give thanks by including you on the list. So thank you so very much to our Patreons, to our channel members, and thank you all to just our subscribers and viewers like you. So, sending love out there. And with that, we are going to roll into our Skeptic Bible Study open mic. Woohoo! What is up, Eloy?
Hey guys, what's going on?
Not
Where do you
too
sign
much.
up, Dr. Mingala? In the where's the join button? Somebody post the join button.
And I would even be careful on Godwin's law. But yes, I will send the link into chat.
We'll take his
15 minutes on the clock.
So nothing. I don't know if I can look at history or the angle where you guys end up, that I could end up in that spot, with the atheism. But I think you guys know that already because of our previous conversations. But you also know that
we'll get to there,
I'm all. What's that?
I said we'll get you there, Eloy. We have faith in you.
Water's fine.
No, but so I'm not saying this in I know you're being funny and stuff, but I'm not trying to say this like I'm better than you guys or this or that. But I do agree with you guys on the aspect of, so what you're doing is kind of antagonistic. It depends on the person receiving it, right? But it seems very pushy towards the concept of Christianity. And although you've mentioned broadly that you'll include other religions in that too, you do focus strongly on the Christianity. But I don't know that it's something, humanity's like a sliding scale.
Can I pause you for a second, Eloy?
Go right ahead.
Every religious person, all we get is, why do you pick on my specific blah, 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 blah? And I can tell you, without a doubt, we just deal with what comes our way.
Okay, fair enough. So
the Old Testament, that's what we're reading right now. That applies to Christianity, Judaism, and in large part Islam. So I mean,
Oh, okay, that's fair. Yeah, no, that's fair. So, I'll just say that this issue, so like I can't see it like you guys see it in the grander scheme of things, or as far as you've explained so far, because when you approach someone with ideas, you do have the option which you guys are using, which is to ridicule and belittle and minimize and insult and just those sort of attributes and stuff, and then and sort of poke at the bear and such. And a lot of people do that, but I think that what it does is it basically entrenches. Like I could accept an intelligent argument, even though I can accept that it's an argument and I'm receiving it, and I at the end of the day may walk away and say, you know what, well, I'm going to dig down, I'm going to double down, and I'm just going to say, no, I'm not taking, but I can't help walk away regardless that it's an intelligent argument that deserves some attention. But if you ridicule people and their beliefs and stuff, so what it is imagine a sliding scale, like Amy, the human being, okay, just bear with me, I could use myself as an example, it's not to offend or anything, I could use myself, okay, me, instead of Amy, like myself, I'm a human being, and within all the things that have filled up my little skull, between my big ears and my little brain skull, I have an ocean of different ideas and subcategories of things that I've concluded. Some of them are subconscious, and what I'm getting at is that in the lifespan of a human being, plus their culture, plus their training, plus you could call it indoctrination, all the things available are incorporated into human beings' existence, and they're navigating these waters of life, encountering other little ships that are unique, that have their takes on things, but the broad concepts, we're given certain concepts and stuff, and then we're trying to sort of figure things out as we go. Some people are not willing to go down certain roads with you and so on, and it is complicated. Okay, it is truly complicated. I did have a certain argument with someone out in the chats over this, but I couldn't. When you write, you can't necessarily write everything you think, because we're a spectrum of things, and it's all encapsulated in one conversation.
What's your name in the chat, Eloy? Because I didn't see you out there. Is your name Eloy in the chat, or do you use a different name?
Yes, my name is Eloy.
Okay. I didn't see you out
no. So basically, my point is that since we're so incredibly, we might as well be talking to aliens when we talk to each other, because there are incredible differences in the way we make connections, but we're dealing with these constants such as Christianity, left and right. So there's these umbrella categories that we're working under, okay? But so a lot of people are going to take a sarcasm or a attack, and they're just going to go ahead, and some people have reasonable understanding of why they believe what they believe, but a lot of people may just be culturally at a place, at a belief, and when they hear sarcasm and attacks, they might just simply say, well, that's a turn off, and they're not going to think twice on it either way. But most people are entrenched in their stuff regardless, and the only place I can agree with you guys on is the fact that you're doing what you're doing because of the fact that we have freedom to do so. You could say whatever the heck you want, but I don't know how it's valuable in its exercise according to your beliefs and your right to exercise it. But I don't know how valuable it is to ridicule somebody. Go ahead and ridicule someone from India on their beliefs, Hinduism, whatever the case might be. Go ahead and try
Hinduism
that.
is really silly.
Well, no, but here's the thing. You may think it's silly. You may be right, according to yourself and endless amounts of people. But if your intent, which I don't know if it is or not, maybe it's just for the practice of practicing freedom.
I would say making fun of religious beliefs is a very important part of the show. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. I mean, no, that's part of the. I mean,
I say, but Amy,
we view a lot of these things. Like, if you tell us the world is 6,000 years old, it's ridiculous. How else can we handle such a thing but to point out that that's basically the same thing as believing in the flat Earth?
Well, look, but there's people that believe. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, but there's people that believe the flat Earth. That's our point. We should be
ridiculous.
No. But
But look,
hold on.
nobody's going to respond to every argument. So there are going to be some people who will look at our content and they will just turn them off and they won't like it. They won't respond to it, and that's fine. But you know what? There is a plethora, a wide array of different atheists, all doing atheism in their own way. And maybe there's another type of atheist with a different approach, a different style, who will speak more in a way that, is effective at communicating to them. So we can only plow in our field. We can only do what we do. But I realize it's not going to be effective to everybody, and there will be people who turned off to it. But our goal is to plant seeds of doubt in the minds of believers, and maybe that'll germinate one day, maybe it
Indeed.
won't, and to reinforce the lack of faith in those who are already not believers, so they realize how stupid these ideas are, and lest they hear some apologist and maybe they start to think, oh, maybe the Bible. No, if you're not a believer, we want to keep you a non-believer. If you are a believer, we just want to give you a little bit of doubt. If you don't if you don't agree with us, you don't agree with us. We're not going to force anybody to deconvert. We're not for forced deconversion. You have the right to your freedom of conscience, freedom of thought. If you want to believe, we can't take it away from you.
And Eloy, respond, but then I want to read a super chat.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's your intent, and it's clearly laid out what you just said. I'll just say that I don't know that. So when I watch your show, and this is my particular, there's the options that you mentioned, but this is my particular. When I watch your show, I instantly and it's not like you're using convincing. Look, you're not, by using the Bible in order to say, look, there's war and death and destruction in the Bible, and therefore it's ridiculous, and therefore why would you want this? That's not a convincing whatsoever argument. Convincing, at least to me and many people. Assuming.
Can I ask you? Do you believe in an all-loving God?
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely.
So you don't believe in the Abrahamic God? That's basically what you're telling us. Because
no, not at all. Where's the contradiction? Show me the contradiction that you're saying.
What does all loving mean to you? Does it mean all loving, or does it mean like loving but a little bit less?
Okay, so here's the thing that I see in that respect. So I've mentioned this before, maybe not here, in some other show, but so you and I can say that I love this woman or this person, and another person can say, and if you're put to task, you have to sit down and say, well, what does that mean? And some people will say, well, I have nothing but love for this person regardless of what they're capable of doing or not doing, and that's my love. But when put to the task, people, there's thresholds that people have. We have an understanding of what love is, but there's a lot to do with subconscious stuff in reference to God, the creator. We don't know, and I mentioned this clearly before in our previous, that I can't convince you guys of anything, because the spiritual has to do with a very personal thing. So my take on that you asked is that, well, God, if you believe in God, he's the creator of everything. And therefore, what he says and what he does and whatever the story, wherever it goes, that is his reckoning. And he has every right to do so. And within the Bible, the redemption is
loving.
Within the Bible,
I
but
really
here's
don't
the
understand
bit.
how you don't see that's evil. I
but
don't understand.
But here's the bit. Within the Bible, the story is laid out of salvation. The story is laid out of redemption. And that's your bit. But you don't accept that as loving.
It makes sense.
You don't accept it as loving. I understand that. I understand that.
Not only do I not accept it as loving, I view it as the opposite. I view it as rageful, hateful, vengeful.
Look,
right, but you're missing the bit.
Everybody is put in this position where you're born condemned because somebody else a long time ago did something bad that God didn't like, and he therefore decided everybody after that has this question where they have to decide to worship him or they go to hell forever.
Yes.
We would say that is the opposite of loving. That's ridiculous. And
According to the Bible, that's how it is. Except that except that there's a redemption part to it as well. If you
Right.
finish the statement by saying, and the idea is fallen man and redemption, if you finish that whole thing and in between the bookends, there's all this hell. Okay, now you have stated it completely, and then you can reject it if you so choose. But you have to say the whole complete idea. The whole complete idea is fallen state of man, and then redemption, and then all the junk in between that occurred. Then you can say, I reject that, and people that are on the other side will say, oh, the atheist understands the bookends, and yet they reject it. Fine. But you have to say the whole complete bit.
right,
There,
you have to agree to worship him, and if you do, then you're redeemed. But if you don't, then you go to hell. And
but
this
there
whole
was
thing started
nothing.
because
There
a
was
woman
nothing
ate fruit
about
from the
this
wrong
chapter.
tree.
I just can't get over the fact there was nothing about this chapter about like he's not even not the most loving. He's not very loving, not
Well-
even really loving at all. So I do not understand when they make these statements like most loving.
So,
Like,
a chapter like
Can we
this,
get even any loving?
But how can you not
Kinda
understand,
loving?
Amy? Amy, how? Okay, let me see if this. I know it's not going to work because you have your thought, and that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. But I want to see if this works. If this works. If it doesn't, it doesn't, and that's fine too. We're all human beings, and I respect your decision making and your thoughts. I really do in terms of your thoughts. So I'll just say, if there's a creator, just go with me on this, and
So
that
we're at
creator.
theism.
And that creator created everything, right? Everything.
Theism now.
okay?
And then the story unfolds where there's the falling of humanity, man, and there's all this stuff in the middle. Just follow me half a second. Like, you don't have to accept any of it. Just at the end, once you've consumed
None
the
of it
whole
makes any
idea,
sense, but okay.
But what?
There's all this-
I just okay.
there's all this
We-
stuff. No, I'm just going to lay it out. It's very... In the middle, you have all these conflicts, and you have population movements. You have the history of Europe. You have the history, all of it. And then there's the bookend within the concept of the world of the Bible, where there's redemption. There's all this stuff, and there's a reasoning behind the whole thing within the world of biblical reckoning. Okay, so there is redemption, but there is suffering. We have freedom of will to choose. It's all in the Bible. There's many things in the Bible. With that concept in mind, can you see? You can definitely see there's suffering, and you say it quite frequently. But can you see that there's redemption as well within the concept of the world of the Bible? Do you see that there's a laid out redemption? I'm not saying for you to believe it. I'm just saying for you to say, if you understand there's redemption in the Bible.
There's the concept of redemption, not in Judaism, the religion that I come from, but in Christianity, that was a concept that was created.
Well, wait a second. There is in Judaism, isn't there?
No.
No, but wait a second. Didn't Daniel? I mean, so in the Old Testament, there's no. You're saying no.
Thoughts?
Yes, I'm saying
That there's no redemption in the Old Testament. There's no.
Yeah,
There's no.
there's no afterlife. You just die as well.
Well, yeah. When you die, you go to the ground, right? Right.
Uh,
But Daniel said, "Remember me when I'm here." Okay, so look, you know what? Let's stick to the Christianity one, and we'll tell you. So with the Christianity, can you see, not without believing it, that there's whether you think it's reasonable or not, or appropriate or not, to think such things or to believe such things? Do you see that there's a redemption aspect to Christianity?
With one asterisk, I
Okay.
find it evil.
Okay, no, that's fine, but you see it.
Okay. I understand the human sacrifice.
There's like
Following
millions of
the
people
apple.
drowning, and God throws in like a few dozen life preservers, and a few people will grab those life preservers and be saved, but the vast
Look,
majority
Not to
will not
mention
have
sinning
access
to
to
swallow.
or
Look, listen. listen, so let me just say this thing. So when I'm surfing the web and I'm on different chats and stuff, there's people that have different types of ideas and thoughts on different things, not what you guys are focused on necessarily, but there's people that have problems with all sorts of things throughout history and they focus on it. There's some people that'll focus on just the British Empire. There's other people that'll focus on the Spaniards due to the Native American situation. So there's people that do all these things and they focus on these things. There's a concept where if you look at history, and it's a very obvious one, you will see that, like, let's say you argue that, oh, I don't know, the Spanish, they just annihilated the natives, right? Well, if you roll it back, the Spaniards were occupied by the Muslims, the Moors and such. But if you roll it further back, the Muslims within themselves were fighting with the North Africans, and rolling it back, the Goths were fighting with with the others, and then the Romans were.
There's been conflict and war and suffering
right, so,
throughout history. Yeah. We understand that, yeah.
Yeah, so it unfolds, but well, here's the key: it all unfolds to a point that if I chose to, if I were to, since the center of the universe, according to myself, is me sitting in my home right now talking to you guys, although that may not be true, but from my point, I'm sitting here. I could pick England in 1773, and I could go ahead and judge the world from 1973 England and pick out good guys and bad guys and such. But on the greater scale of, and so anybody could do that. Somebody in India, the Gandhi.
There's a
but
big difference, though.
Well, no.
You doing that, and because to say that people do bad things or that there's struggle and conflict and disagreements, yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Like me, I'm a moral relativist, so I don't necessarily think there's objective morality. I think there's conflicts, and we look in the past and we see atrocities and bad things happen on both sides and whatever. But we're not saying. But what you're saying is that there is a God, an absolutely perfect moral God, and he's engaging in the same kind of shit that us mindless humans are doing. We kill. We have conflict. We have strife. We don't get along. We fight over things.
I know.
And God
exactly
does
human.
Yeah, but here's the bit. That I get that that's what you're seeing, and that's where one of the critiques are. One of many critiques that are coming from you. And
it's
I'm
like
not,
ancient man.
Right. So I'm not. So here's the thing. So with this wave of humanity, according to, let's say I picked England, because I was trying to make a specific point, but you added the fact, which is an important fact, that you're a moral relativist, so you don't necessarily, if you were to stand in 1773 in England with said conflicts and stuff, from your position here now, you could physically lift yourself up and do a mental exercise and put yourself in that world and say, well, I'm British now within this world, and I'm looking at the world from my position outward, and we're going to have to take care of business according to the movements of the time. Likewise with the Jews, likewise with the Romans, and so on. And so we understand that there's conflicts and so on throughout history. So you understand that, but you could do that exercise and you'd understand people's position accordingly, right?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. And so here, standing in 2022, we have a situation. I don't call it a situation, although it might very well be, where there's people that believe as you believe, and there's people that believe as I believe, but there's also people within your basic general and my basic general belief group that are so spliced up into smaller and smaller bits of variations that at one point, and in many points, your beliefs and my beliefs will cross and join on many fronts. And so what happens is that, we're not. So look, this war on religion or not on religion or against freedom, and all these wars, they're being played out on a massive scale. And I don't know that for freedom-loving people in America, where they believe in freedom and the push and tug, I don't know that from our position you're gonna gain any ground, significant ground that's earth-shattering in the cause against Christianity necessarily. I may be wrong on that.
I think we're making great grounds. I look, you see churches closing down, church attendance is down. The pews are emptying out. I mean,
Oh,
there are
sure.
pockets where there's more, where things are more religious. But I think the path that we're going down is one of more secular.
And
Okay, I
Eloy,
disagree.
we only have like another minute, not because I don't want to talk with you more, but because I have to get up to bed soon.
Okay, I'm gonna go. I'll just say, those were my
But
thoughts.
yeah.
Basically, I appreciate the time, and nothing. Continue on, and I'll watch from the sidebar.
And I just want to say, keep dreaming about that, Ralph.
Okay.
Have a good
Thank
night,
you, so,
Eloy.
thank you so
Look
very
at
much,
that.
Eloy.
Right
Nighty,
out
nighty night.
in 100 years. Yeah, I think that's some wishful thinking on your part there, Ralph. I don't think it's going to happen, but you keep
Well,
on hoping.
but I do want to thank Ralph. Now that we
for his,
have time before we
euros.
says $10 euro. God bless Amy and her Holy War Defense Fund. Buy another Minecraft sword. That's right. Going Holy War. Thank you so very much, Ralph. Woo-hoo. It has been becoming Propapalooza.
A new member. I know.
And yeah, well,
maths, Ralph. Maths. Keep dreaming though, Ralph. I gotta.
Sending lots of love out there. And I do want to send love to atheists and theists. I want to thank Eloy as well for coming on. And I want to thank sending love to the queen of production herself. Sending love. Hashtag Tangay. Hashtag Jenna. Woo-hoo.
Thanks, Jenna.
So glad to have you. Honored to actually have you as I make lots of sound effects. And I just can't keep on sending love to Tangay, to the Atheist Network group. You should be checking them out at youtube.com/the Atheist Network group. Check out our latest episode of LGBTQ plus Secular Allies talk show on there. Woo-hoo!
Woo-hoo. There you go. Thanks so much, Jenna.
Thank you, Jenna. And all right, I think in a second we are actually going to close up. James, did you want to say what you got going on for debates?
Yeah, next week, next Saturday, Standing for Truth. I think we've got 2 days. I think on the 20th, Mark Reid has a debate on Standing for Truth 2 on Evidence for God. My debate will be versus Nephilim 3 on human-dinosaur coexistence. There we go. And I think I do have one on the 28th, which is going to be on Noah's flood. So that will be a lot of fun also. Debating human-dinosaur coexistence that didn't happen unless you consider birds dinosaurs, which they are, and flood that didn't happen.
And all right.
I thought she was going to talk while muted. She hasn't done it yet this podcast.
I made it.
Doesn't
I just want to say I hope you all had a fun time on our Skeptic Bible Study. Holy War. Boom, boom,
Holy shit.
That's right. Where tonight Moses instructed the Israelites on cities of refuge, avengers of blood, and landmarks. Though we still finished it off with a good old-fashioned holy war. Yeah, religion. But I do hope that you had a fun time on tonight's Book of Deuteronomy study, chapter 19 and 20. I want to thank my co-host James W., along with our guest Eloy, along with our awesome mods who make this stream so great. Our Patreons, our members, and lovely people in chat. And of course, viewers like you. If you enjoyed the show, please don't forget to like, follow, or subscribe. Because, hey, then you gain access to that bell icon, which when set to all, will give you reminders to see our premieres or join our live streams. Or,
Woohoo.
hey,
We're a sunflower.
maybe leave a comment after the video's done. If
Go
you'd
find
like,
sunflower.
there will be a skeptic and ranting community Discord server, the link of which is in the
Go get
description
Lennon,
below.
Ralph. Go get
Come on.
now.
Finally, if you'd like to help us make even more fun content, we offer unique perks for your support at patreon.com/Amy
Those are
Newman.
benefits, not Percocets.
Oh my. I am
Don't
Amy
feel
Newman, and we will see you all on the next episode of Skeptic Ball Z. Good night, everyone. Mwah.